Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, gotta fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between, yeah, it's all that. And we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. It is I. It is he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, to my left, Righteous Reg. Probably to your right. One of those directions.
It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. Double R, Media Man, Righteous Reg, here on a Saturday morning for Grapsody. Very excited about it. Philip Lindsey, it was your birthday week. I hope it was enjoyable or something or fulfilling, anything in the world. Shout out to everybody joining us here today. What's up with you?
I'm good. It was hot.
It was hot.
All week. I was telling you on Ask Grapsody that I had a boring adult stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I just was in the city, just hanging. That was cool.
Chicago Phil.
Yeah, it was cool. It was what it was.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think every year you add another number to this whole age thing. Get more introspective. You're supposed to add wisdom, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And my thoughts have changed on quite a bunch of things over the years. I suppose I've learned to appreciate things more. You should.
Fact, yeah. In this day and age, I think you have to. I'm sure having your birthday when the world's on fire feels kind of insane. So I'm sure that's a thing. But speaking of wisdom, I feel like you are one of my wisest friends. So that does come with age, right?
I suppose.
You're up there, Phil. Like if I need some wisdom, I'm definitely like, how's Phil feel about this, you know?
I suppose. I guess I will take that compliment.
Yes.
Every now and then I look around, I'm just like, this is it, huh? This is it. This is life,
Not
huh?
Michael Jackson's "This Is It" either. Like this is it. This is the last $40 right here. We are. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was reading Alyssa Milano's tribute to Julian McMahon before he got on here. Julian McMahon, if you of course watch Charmed, he was on there. He was her husband on there. Cole, the Source, whatever else you want to call him. He's also Dr. Doom, probably the first Dr. Doom we got on feature film. And a movie that wasn't terrible, but wasn't quite what we wanted either. But you got to give it to Julian. He did put his all into it. He wanted to make this as campy and cheesy as well as possible. Can't be too upset when somebody puts their all into something with full convictions.
Right.
And based on all the stories I've seen of this guy, it's also on Nip Tuck and a few other things. Seems like a great guy. Seems like a family man. Rest in peace to him. 56 is very young to die. It's sad. Very sad.
It's rest in peace to him. Seemed like with the tributes and stuff coming in that he was appreciated in the spaces that he was in. 56 is it's crazy because I've seen a couple deaths this week of 60 and under of actors and a couple of rappers, and it's like, what?
Yeah. Also Michael Madsen passed away. Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill movies, tons of other stuff he was in. Great actor. Rest in peace to him as well. I don't know, seeing all the stuff, people doing the anniversary stuff for Power Rangers the movie, which it's always around the same time because it's the same day as my birthday, and so it's always interesting. And like seeing it this time around, I was like, man, Jason David Frank is really not here anymore. It's still wild
Crazy.
to think about. Like I was saying when some of the clips popped up, and there's the clip of him fighting the ooze dudes in that construction site, and he picks up that shovel and snaps, and he's like fighting them with the stick. I was like, bro, at one point was the coolest guy in the world to me. Like nobody cooler than Tommy, man.
1,000,000%. I can flash back to 1994 all the time, just thinking of like wrestling was the greatest thing in the world to me, but like right there, 1B was the Power Rangers. Like this was like daily television, child soap opera, and we were all the most locked in you could ever be. And when he joined the cast, it was like, I don't know, like they were cool, but then he came in and it was like, nah, this guy's the coolest guy in the world. Like there's nobody can fight cooler than him. Nobody has a cooler ponytail than this guy. Like this guy is the guy. Like, and I was like obsessed with Bret Hart, and he like they kind of favor each other because they had the ponytail and stuff. So I was like all in.
He does had very similar vibes to Bret Hart, like
right?
the way he wrestles, and then like after the show was over, the way he would kind of like shoot on people and keep it real. I was like, oh no, he was Power Rangers Bret.
I'm saying, dog.
Yo,
he pretty much would walk in doing like, no, what's up, y'all? You know what I mean? Like he had the vibes were there for sure.
Yeah, he told that story where he almost got into a fight with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that. I know for a while everybody was challenging him to fight.
At one point he was letting everybody know, man, I'm ready for smoke. He was always shooting on Austin St. John, and
he was.
The longer we've gotten away from that, I'm like, hey man, might have had a point about this guy. I don't know.
Yeah, a couple more facts and stories comes out, and I'm like, hey, he might have been spitting though. But yeah, he went on that run where he was like, don't let the Power Rangers fool you, bro. We can pull up. We can do this.
Yeah, he tried to do a little MMA at one point, man. He got really jacked. Yeah, like the tattoos, like still even after the show, just still the coolest dude ever.
Definitely.
I've had the pleasure of meeting him more than once. I just seemed like a happy guy, and so when we found out how he went, it just blew my mind. It's just like, what do you mean? Yeah,
it's troubling. It's something like I wish I could understand, but I just it's
the love the fans, gave a lot to the fans, and rest in peace to him. Did not expect to turn this into a whole Tommy tribute, but like I said, when I saw all of the clips from the movie, I was like, this guy's really not here anymore. It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it seemed like he touched a lot of people when he passed. The tributes that were coming in from the cast members, from the fans, from people that knew him are like, man, this guy really did something to this world.
Yeah. I don't know if did you listen to any of this JID EP that he put out? It's like 4 songs in there.
I listened to all 4 of the songs yesterday, and I understand why you left these off the album. Like they're like not the one. I wouldn't have put them on the album. I did like the Yachty song. Like I know Yachty is very hit or miss. Like I feel like most of his features are pretty hard though. Like when he's like when he wants to rap, he can rap. I'm like, man, this guy's a really great rapper when he wants to be, but like when he does his albums, then he goes into something else. I guess everybody, Phil, was talking about the Marshall Mathers feature in this, and did you listen?
I did. If you guys are not up, JID is dropping an album this year. God Does Like Ugly, and
August 8th.
Yeah, he put out a Prelux, which is 4 songs that did not make the album that are EPs. I think for the most part they're fine. They're like a nice sample serving of what JID does well. I think the first song is cool. Like his rapping on there, he's rapping.
Definitely.
The Animal song that you're talking about with Eminem on there, I've heard everybody talking about his verse, and so I was like, okay, let's check this out. So when I turned it on, I was like, nah, JID is going off on here. Like, before we even got to M's verse, I was like, nah, JID is going crazy.
I was like, these are raps. Like, this is what I expect from JID. Like what he's been doing in the last couple of weeks, like previewing what's about to go on this album. I'm like, oh, it's about to be lit. And then Marshall started rapping. I'm like,
yeah.
man.
No, he smoked his verse.
Yeah.
We can tell the truth. He smoked his verse.
It wasn't rapidy rap 5,000 bars Eminem, so I appreciate it.
This is kind of his bag though.
Yeah.
Rap fast verse and like yeah.
But you can like understand it. It wasn't like Eminem, you know what I mean? It was like he got into a little bit of that, and I actually liked it.
It wasn't a Rap God verse?
No. Every time that Rap God verse comes on and the people that it influenced that also rap like that, like a little bit of me dies inside.
But yeah, no, he killed it. He threw some more jabs at Kanye. He's been doing that a lot lately.
Brought up that cousin song, so
yeah. It was that was a
leave it to him.
that was a choice. But yeah, I agree with you. The Yachty feature was dope. I was surprised how much I liked the Yachty feature when I listened to it. Yachty has his moments where he'll get on a song and remind people that he can really do this.
Yeah.
And then he'll go and make something else. And I'm just like, what is this though?
Yeah, I'm like, what happened to the guy that I heard yesterday? He's like, I don't want to, because he did. I guess I started watching, I fell down that rabbit hole when that clip came out of him on stage doing that. Whatever he was doing a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
whatever that dancing he was doing where he was like, it looked like a kid throwing a tantrum or something. Yes. I don't know what that was.
It did look like a kid throwing a tantrum. Or like when they tell like a bunch of little kids to dance at school, and like that's what one kid's doing in the corner. And so I was like, okay, some of his stuff is like super dope, but then there was like a song that was like also attached to that, and I was like, I don't want to listen to this. Like, turn this off.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought his verse was dope. I thought for most part, like the rapping was good. Some of the production, I was like, oh, I see why this didn't make that.
That's how I felt too. I was like, he tried some things. I think, when you're creating a record and you're going through all these beats and all these producers singing stuff, maybe you're like, let me try this. Let me see what this is. And that's felt like, let me try this and let me see what this is. Not bad music at all, just fine.
Yeah, very risky decision to take that M verse and put it on the EP and not the album.
I'm putting, if Eminem sending a verse, album every time. Like that's instant streams.
Yeah, that was a choice. But yeah, I liked it for the most part. I still have been mostly listening to this Nick Wren album and Saba album. That's been my rotation.
So that was all the music that you heard yesterday?
There was more music?
You didn't hear The Boy?
Oh, I did listen to that song. Because somebody sent me the video, and very bizarre video. I don't know what the hell he thinks this is. The video starts with him in his backyard by a pool, and he's got all of these burners like laid out. He's got all these guns laid out in the yard, and I'm just like, I don't know. But it's his usual tone. It's his usual theme of can't trust any friends. Everybody turned their back on me. He's throwing some more jabs and throwing some subs. I'm just like, I don't know that you can still do that when you are suing, and it seems like you're very bothered by this that happened a year ago. Man, maybe leave that alone. I don't know.
I thought it was some good music. Like Drake is
cool.
Rapping on this. It's like this is good rap, but like the content and like we're currently in, I probably would have went with something else.
Well, I mean, this is his favorite subject matter.
Definitely. I could come to appreciate the part that I did appreciate was him being like, you fools were all acting like we were down, and I saw you on stage with that fool. Like, I can't appreciate that. Like, beyond everything that happened in the battle, him being like, I thought I had a bunch of people with me, and I did it, and that's wild.
Yeah, seemingly some more bars for Braun on here.
Why is he rapping at Braun, Phil?
He's really hurt by that Braun thing, it seems like. He thought they were friends, I guess.
That's what he thought this is because he went on the fucking barbershop, dog.
Yeah, he was bothered by that.
He was really bothered, though. Like, it's not every time he gets to the Braun bars, like it gets like, listen, stop. Yeah. Let me talk to you. That really hurt, dog. Like, why'd you do that?
I will say this was better than a lot of the Drake stuff he's been dropping for the past year.
Yeah.
Like I know Nokia is a hit at this point. It it is for who it's for. The audience that it's for, they love it. Not really for me. That whole album, I didn't really get with that album like that.
0%.
But
And
this
that,
is the
what was the song with Canadian Bazaar? Like
no, the Tumasa joint.
horrible,
No.
terrible.
Yeah. Don't say a word, brother. Yeah, I'm good.
keep it, dog. Please keep it. But I was listening to this yesterday. I was like, okay, this is much better than what's been being produced. So I can appreciate that also.
Well, supposedly that's the word out on this Iceman album. It's going to be more of him just rapping. It's going to be less of the sing-songy stuff. Cool. I still think he should just get low and, not put anything out for a while. Give people a chance to miss him.
The rest of the video, he's in a back room warehouse or something
with like these big blocks of ice. That was weird. He did that stream with like the Iceman truck, and somebody called him a bitch on there. Do you see that?
I did.
And he jumped into his accent.
What's that accent, Phil?
Yeah,
what
crazy.
Is that?
I don't know what that was. His tough talk with the accent was kind of wild too. I was like, what is this, bro?
Slow down, man's turn around. Man's get folded. I'm like, what is this guy? What Drake, what are you doing, man?
Very strange, man. That, and like I said, starting the video that way with like all the guns laid out in the yard, I was like, I don't think we need this. It's cool.
I just want to somebody was like, oh, it's a tribute to this. And I'm like, I don't care what it's a tribute to. It's him with a bunch of guns in standing by a pool rapping. Like, he's going to do something with these.
Well, I don't know that you can do that after the year that you had. And then, like you said, he just put the Tumasa record out, and he's like in a spa at one point. He's like laying flat on his back during the video, and he's got like the spa stuff on. And you go from that to this. I don't know that works, dog. There's a weird disconnect.
I think a better visual would have been just a bunch of dudes, because at one point he says he's riding with 600 niggas or something, and it's like, what if you just had 600 guys there? That'd probably give out a better visual.
No, he could have just been like in the backyard that he was in
without the stuff. Just same exact thing, same exact setting.
Hanging next to the pool. It's cool. We didn't need this. He had some of them like propped up behind him. Like, what the fuck is this?
What is this, dog? He's dancing in the middle of them. I'm like, wait, what?
That made it look crazy too. The way he was dancing next to him, I was like, I don't. Like, it looked weird. It looked like it looked like he was in front of like a green screen image or something. I was like, these two things don't go together.
Why? I don't get it. But like, it's him. Like, I'm not surprised by any of it.
This is bag. Like I said, this is his favorite subject matter. Y'all turned on me. I don't have no real friends in the industry, and to be honest, I feel like he's giving us some of his best bars when he gets in that bag. But maybe something else. Maybe do something else.
Chuck Liddell, the homie
Chuck Liddell.
The homie Eloquent with the super chat says, Drake been rapping about no new friends for 10 plus years.
No. And down, no new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no new.
But he keeps saying, Phil, that he doesn't trust anybody. Could you, like, wouldn't you just not have friends? Because he got a bunch of new streamer friends. Like, he's buddy with a bunch of those guys.
He been trying to pull out and make some new friends, man. He got the streamer guys he's hanging out with. He's hanging out with SGA. He got to find some new basketball friends now. Yeah.
Listen, SGA, that's a good low connect to have. You can say that, he got some championship ties. He like that. This is a character, dog. He's still, like you said, Phil, right now could just stop and like,
he could chill out. Let's go.
And just like let it rest. He was mad at T-Pain this week.
T-Pain came out and had some stuff to say. That's the funny thing about all of this too. It feels like the second he was down, all these people were like, yeah, you know what? I ain't never really liked this dude. I always had some smoke for him. Let me throw out. I'm not going to outright say I don't like him, but here's this and this and that. And I'm like, it got this tone to it. I kind of feel like T-Pain has always kind of not liked him.
I started thinking about the whole thing, and we talked about T-Pain, and thinking about those times, and like the first year that I went out was all T-Pain, but then the second year I went out was all Drake. So like immediately, not that he came and took his spot, but like all the features that T-Pain would have got, they all started calling Drake. So I would understand a little bit of like, well, what the hell's going on? I used to be the guy. Now everybody's calling this guy.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It popped off my screen, so I can't see it now. But somebody essentially was saying in our chat
Appreciate that, Eloquent.
Yeah, appreciate you, Eloquent. It was Jose. Sorry. He was saying this beef didn't do what everyone thought. Look at him. Look at his stream numbers. Look at his numbers from Kendrick's tour, and it states to Drake's last tour. He has another beef, sure, but nothing's changed. I wouldn't say nothing's changed. I think that I don't think the number stuff is going to change that drastically. I don't think his fan base is going to change. Those people are still going to rock with him no matter what.
Right.
But to act like nobody is looking at this guy differently after that, oh no. People are definitely looking at this man differently, and they're going to continue to look at him differently for a while. I mean, he's still Drake. He's still going on one of the longest extended runs that we possibly have ever seen in hip hop.
Yeah.
He's still going to do big numbers. He's still going to.
Iceman's gonna go crazy when it drops.
Yeah, he's still gonna do good business. He's still gonna make a lot of money, but I don't know that I could say that this hasn't affected him. I mean, he's suing. He's telling you in a lawsuit that this harmed me. This did damage to me. I don't know that you can say that it didn't do damage to me when he's telling you in a lawsuit that it damaged him.
He's telling you in a lawsuit that this harmed me. Is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
That's really the lawsuit. Like that this damaged me. This damaged my brand.
Yes, that's it. He's saying it in a court proceeding. Y'all was out to get me, and my brand has been damaged.
Why didn't you protect me from this, UMG?
He's telling us in a lawsuit that this harmed me. Woo, that's a good one, brother. But yeah, perception definitely has flipped. Like the people that were, I think there were a whole bunch of people before the battle that were on the fence. They were like, I could give or take Drake, but now there's the people that are like, I don't care. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
he's going to continue to have who he has and exist in that space because the battle was never going to change that, but things have definitely changed.
Oh yeah, some things have definitely changed, but that's why I continue to say, man, if he just gets low and takes some time away and puts out a big smash record, which I know he can still put out a smash, definitely. A lot of this will die down.
Yeah,
I don't think he's helping himself with the way he's moving.
I don't know why you saying get low made me think about that Yin Yang Twins at the SeaWorld clip. Did you see that?
I didn't.
There's a clip of Yin Yang Twins performing today in 2025 at SeaWorld, and it's lit, like it's on fire, and they're having a great time. And of course, people came with their talk and what they do when in these moments, but it was lit, and the Yin Yang Twins are having a good time. So let them be. SeaWorld, them being there, we could get into that, but that, I don't think that's what this issue is.
I don't know what happened there. The other thing that had me in a chokehold was that clip I sent you yesterday of a Chance. I don't know where he was, but God, was that funny, man.
I was thinking, I don't have any idea where he was. You never confirmed where he was.
It looked like he was in like a restaurant or something. He was like outside of a restaurant. It was crazy.
I was like, I don't think you could do this, but also like, in this day and age, you can do whatever you want. It feels like
he's trying to tell you he tired.
The way that they all like zoom in on him right before he says it too.
And like nobody turns around in their seat. Like I kept expecting like one of those television gasps or something. Oh. Nope, he just got that off and just kept moving. It's like, all right.
I don't know why he chose to drop that, but I died. I'm still dead. Chance the Rapper, great content.
Yeah, I've been like I told you last week, watching a lot of King of the Hill on Hulu. I just immediately think of Hank in the background after you said that. Oh.
1000% Hank would be the one. You can't say that. I'll kick your ass, Chance the Rapper. I'll tell you what.
Tell you what. Oh,
Great show, by the
Bobby,
way.
let's get out of here.
This is honestly the first time I fully watched it through, and I'm like, I don't know how I went so long without watching this amazing show.
Hilarious, man. I'm up to like season 4, I think. So I just got past the episode where Peggy jumps out of the plane and the chute doesn't come out.
Peggy's Fat Albert. She always goes to Fat Albert for an impression. Destroys my life.
And she always like laughs herself, and she's like, "Oh, Peggy," like she's just playing them, bro.
Like she got that off.
Smoke that.
Oh, the new one's coming up. So I'm getting prepared. I guess that's probably the same thing that you're doing, getting prepared for the new one.
I didn't even think about that. I just needed something to throw on one day, and then I just kept watching it, and I was like, oh, whatever. So yeah, I've made it through like 3 seasons at this point.
Very excited about it. Great life, great stuff.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite episodes ever is when they're the volunteer firefighters. Hilarious episode.
Man, just incredible content. I didn't know there were so many. Like I said, this is the first time that I've watched it fully through, and there's like 13 seasons. I'm like, man, there's so many of these. I didn't know it went on for so long, I guess.
Yeah, because the new episode is the new season is season 14, right? Yeah,
13 of them things, and they're like 20 plus episodes, like a bunch of them.
They got man, just crazy time period when this show came out too. Like there's an episode where he's trying to take his mother to this town to get like the miniatures, and they're talking about stuff because it's like spring break, and at one point when they're on the stage talking about spring break, they're like 1999. I was like, 1999. This was that long ago.
That's when that was on, 1999, and like through all of high school, like that show was just on. So, and like I didn't really watch it back then, so to think about it now is like, man, that thing was on for through all the wild times like of my adolescence. Well, that show was on.
Yeah.
Adolescence. Can we go back? Would you flash back, Phil? If a genie came and was like, take all this knowledge back to 14-year-old Phil, would you do it?
I don't know. I need to relive high school and some of that part of my life. I think I'm good.
I'm chill, huh? Yeah. I'll stay here.
Yeah.
What about you guys in the chat? Chime in. Would you go back to 14-year-old you with the knowledge you have now, and you could potentially get rich, but not worth it, I think. The butterfly effect would be bad.
I don't know if the rich part of it would, but I mean, just reliving parts of your life from like 20 years ago, I think I'm good.
But what if you could go back and change them? Because you have the knowledge that you have now.
I don't know how much you can change certain things, but maybe. I don't know.
Some of those parts you would just have to not be there. That's
yeah.
It. But who wants to live life like that? We did it, and we're here. It's Grapsody. Super chats could be submitted. Humper chats could be submitted. Drake is tripping. He's still suing people, so that's just life.
Drizzy Drake. He's still outside.
That's life. Like, there's a lawsuit going on. Their court proceedings. Lawyers are talking about, like, oh, yeah, Rap did this and Rap did that. Like, what?
Insane.
What do we ever do to deserve this? Let's get into a few super and humper chats. The homie, what happened?
I just saw somebody's chat and I was like, I guess that's a reason to go back. All right. My man, Issa Davis was saying, nah, I'm gonna go back and tell myself not to get married. Hey man.
Whoa.
I guess. I think I did dodge that bullet that I didn't end up stuck with somebody that I probably would have hated.
I was thinking of like buy some Bitcoin way back then, maybe, invest. And the homie was like, I'd go back. Listen, I'm not mad at it. I never believed. I think that's the thing. So, like,
you never believed in marriage?
Yeah, never believed in it. Not for one day. 0%. Like, nobody around me was married. I didn't know marriage in my real life. So I was like, that's not a real thing.
You didn't believe in love and the promise that it gives?
I did not. Yeah, it just wasn't a thing for me. I saw it on TV. I was like, but that's TV. Nobody in my immediate circle is married, so maybe that's a black people thing.
Yeah.
But shout out to all the married people. The homie Minimal says #Reg Car Window Repair Fund. Appreciate that, Minimal. I guess people would like an update. The other night I was at karaoke and I came out and my window was busted. It's Oakland, California. Zero surprise over here. It happens 200 times a day, probably at minimal. So I went the next morning and paid $175 and got a new one. Like there isn't nothing like somebody said on the, I've been thinking about it since it happened and the kind of space that like Phil and I exist in and like other people, like how our podcast and like the world works. Somebody on Ask Grapsody was like, did you file a police report? And I was like, this is the first time that question was the first time police had crossed my mind since the thing was broken. Like that, like I never and for 1 second was like, maybe I shouldn't, like I didn't even cross, like it doesn't cross my mind. Like I don't even know their phone number.
I mean, think you know the number. I think you know the number. I don't go to my phone and call the police.
No, I can't.
That's not the first thing that pops in my mind. Let me go call the police. I'm good.
I didn't, but I was just thinking how funny that was that like it wasn't like nothing. And then, but like people would probably think like I should do that, and like I'm not mad at you for that, but that's just like I can't. I don't even know how that works.
Too many situations called the police and that didn't go great. So, or I've been in the vicinity of police and I've been just like, yeah, no, I'm good.
And like me to call Oakland police and I'm like a black man here with dreads in the world. I'm chill.
Yeah. My immediate thought would have been like, okay, what are they going to actually do for me?
Exactly.
Probably nothing. So I won't be calling.
And it didn't cross my mind because I know that's the thing. They're coming and be like, so like nothing was stolen. So like, it's no reason to even get those losers involved, you know?
Yeah. Hey man, but look, you know, sometimes when you have an issue, call your local police department. That's just not the first thing that I would think. I just, you know, the police can help. I just not the first thing on my reaction list.
There's escalations. Like there's definitely moments where you probably should, but like the list for mine is way up there, you know? Like mine is like,
it gotta be an absolute emergency.
Yeah, exactly. And that wasn't really an emergency.
Yeah.
So shout out to the homie Minimal. I appreciate you for doing that. I definitely need additional funds. We're on our way to the hottest place in the world right now, Texas. Phil and I's dreads will melt off in just a few days. But I'm very excited about it. I don't know. I've been thinking legit every single day. What will I wear? Because I'm like, I don't. That's all I've been thinking about. It's like, it's gonna be so hot. We're gonna be inside for 99% of it, but just like thinking of outside of where we're gonna be, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
So appreciate that, Minimal. Very dope. The homie Eloquent also says WWE Evolution build's been trash. Set the girls up for failures. Apparently they only moved 5,000 tickets.
Yeah, it's not looking great. Go figure. Putting Evolution during that weekend where your biggest competition is doing their biggest show of the year, and Beyonce is in town, and all these other things is going on. Maybe not the best choice. But also, I don't think this build has been good. I mean, for a show we've been waiting for them to do for 7 years. I've been sitting like, okay, when are we getting another Evolution? We've been overdue a follow-up, and this is the follow-up we're getting. I don't think the build to this has been good. I don't think they've done a great job promoting it. It definitely feels like they're setting the show up to fail so they can come back later and go, oh, well, it didn't do well last time, so don't ask again. And that's unfortunate because I think the women deserve better. But at this moment, nothing is popping off the screen like, hey, I got to get out there for this show, which is unfortunate. I mean, Rhea versus EO, I think that's already been announced. Yeah, let's pull up this card. Let's see what's on this card. It is next week.
They had the little graphic with the it seems like it's already more than 5 matches, which is a good thing.
Let's pull this card up and see what's on it.
But yeah, it does feel like they're setting it up for failure so they could be like, see, this is why we didn't do it for so long, because you this what happens when it goes like the unfortunate situation of being, you don't even have to factor in All In and AEW. Beyonce is down the street, dog. Like if you're trying to do a women's wrestling show and get a fan base, they're going to Beyonce.
Yes. Okay, so you're right. There are six matches so far. JC Jane will be defending the NXT Women's Championship against Jordan Grace. I think that makes a lot of sense for Jordan, and Atlanta is basically her hometown at this point.
Yep.
She's been in Atlanta for a lot of shows with TNA. Her husband's from Atlanta, so it's kind of a second home for her. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
have her on the card.
And you want to have someone of strong wrestling capability from NXT specifically on this card. So Jordan makes so much sense.
Yeah. Io Sky will be taking on Rhea Ripley, which I don't think that they've done Io any favors here. I think that she had such a good start to the year, beating Rhea on TV and then getting a WrestleMania moment, having the best match of the weekend with Rhea and Bianca, and she got the win. We got so many great things coming out of it, like that video of her parents in a crowd.
Yeah.
And they haven't done anything with her since then. Like she hasn't had any matches on the pay-per-view since then. She hasn't had any real notable title defenses. And now it kind of feels like, all right, well, here's Rhea. And it immediately makes me feel like, all right, Rhea's going to beat her.
Because it's Evolution 2. They need a big moment to snap this thing, and Rhea's hotter than fish grease. So, of course, they're going to put her in this position. But, yeah, it does feel kind of unfortunate for Io because she's been put in this position. And she's gotten, like, it's unfortunate because they've been promoting the Women's Intercontinental Championship and, like, Becky and, like, and those things. So she's kind of gotten lost. Like, but you want them to promote that belt, but you should be putting Io on TV or on these pay-per-views because she's amazing.
Yeah, and speaking of which, it's not on here, but I would assume we're probably going to get a triple threat match for the IC title.
Yep.
I think that makes the most sense with the way they've been booking that belt since Backlash. Which, I mean, I think if that does end up on a card, that's probably the most promoted match. Like that has the best build to it just because they've actually been building a storyline with that since WrestleMania, and building up to Bayley's return, the stuff with Lyra and Becky. It should be on this card. I'd be really shocked if that match is not on the card because, again, this has the most story potential coming into the pay-per-view.
And if that match is on the card, that's like on paper match of the night. Like if they give that match time, like woo, those ladies are gonna go absolutely insane. You have to have Becky on this card.
Yeah, I would think so. As much Becky is one of those people that was campaigning for the longest for this match. So if Becky and Bayley are not here, what are we doing?
That can't even be a thing to think about because, like, no, you can't. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty certain that triple threat will make this show. I don't see a world where it doesn't.
7 matches, then. That's good.
Yeah. We also got Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. They're officially the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. They will be taking on 3 other teams in a fatal 4-way. I believe the only team that's been announced so far is Alexa and Charlotte from SmackDown. Then there'll be a team from Raw and a team from NXT.
Alexa and Charlotte.
Yeah.
Huh. What happened to Nikki? They didn't like that her and Alexa pairing?
Well, I wonder what they were going to do with Nikki before Liv got injured, because it felt like they were going in a different direction with that.
That's true. I forgot they had to shuffle some things.
So I don't know. It sure seemed like they were heading towards either the Bella Twins or Nikki versus Liv at this pay-per-view.
Oh, the Nikki did the promo.
Yeah.
She seemed like she was promoting being on this thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why after Liv got injured, I think something changed. So, I don't know.
But what you're going to say, oh, Liv is injured and we don't want you? That sounds crazy. Put on a different match.
I still think that's a big moment. And you have Evolution. The team that really made the most sense to have tag team championship before with the Bella Twins. And so I feel like if they're going to come back, they should challenge for those belts eventually. That's a moment.
Definitely. 1000%.
And we're talking about Evolution. I don't know if Brie is, as prepared to come back and wrestle as Nikki seems to, but
if she's in Brie mode, I don't know if Brie's in Brie mode.
All right. All right, you're getting your Peggy jokes off now.
Good one, Reg.
So I feel like that's like a moment worthy of an Evolution card, but
yeah,
I don't know what happened with that, and it doesn't seem like there's anything here that makes you think they're doing that. Maybe Nikki's going to be in this big battle royal that they announced,
and then everybody's just teasing. AJ Lee did a teaser on like Instagram or something with her boots on. I'm like, why everybody playing? But I forgot about the battle royal. That could be interesting.
Yeah, there's going to be a big battle royal for a shot at the Women's World Championship at Clash in Paris. Sure.
How do you feel about that stipulation of like, if you win, you get this after we're gonna have a match already?
Well, you've done 2 big stipulation matches for the last 2 pay-per-views to get a title match. You've got the Money in the Bank briefcase out there. Jade is queen of the ring. She has a title shot at SummerSlam. And so I get it. You want to give the Battle Royal winner something, so you want to add stakes, but I don't know.
Where's Clash at the Castle at?
It's in Paris.
Are they going to do like a hometown thing? Like, is it going to be some connection, or is it going to mean anything?
I don't know, but you could do something interesting there, I suppose.
That's probably where they will have Nikki then, I guess, if they're going to have her on the show. That'd be kind of dumb, but I'd see.
Yeah. Tiffany Stratton, based on the segment from last night, will be facing Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship. I think that that's a good match to get in and to build off of the build up to WrestleMania earlier this year, and the match that they did. I think that was Elimination Chamber Toronto, right? Where they had the tag match. So yeah, that's a good way to give her that match under her belt, because I do assume that she's probably going to lose at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
and so that's a nice way to get Tiffany on this card and give her a big match. This feels like an Evolution match. Out of all the other matches I named, this feels the most like an Evolution worthy match.
The rest of them, that's what I was thinking when you sent the card to the group chat earlier this morning. I was like, this feels like, it doesn't feel like Evolution. It just feels like our next pay-per-view, and these are the feuds we've been building. And that's not really what Evolution is about. Tiffany and Trish feels like an Evolution thing, something that the past versus the present. When Nikki was talking about being on the card, like, that's the type of stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, I feel like you should do like the big dream matches, or like the once in a lifetime type matches here. And
like Charlotte versus somebody, she shouldn't be lost in a fucking mixed tag match. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. And I mean, I also don't mind advancing storylines, because that's the way to make this show feel like a regular part of your pay-per-view calendar. But just something about the way we got to Io and Rhea, there was no real build. It was just like, here.
It was so fast.
Yeah, it kind of feels the same way with the JC and Jordan match too, where it's just like, here's a match for the show to get the NXT Women's Championship here. Meh. Well, we're also getting Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a no holds bar match, which I don't understand why that's here. Jade is another one. I understand why she's on this card. Atlanta native. If you're gonna, but the Naomi match, I don't know why you would do that here, especially when she's a Money in the Bank winner. I don't know. Both of these two have title matches coming up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, Naomi has the briefcase, and Jade has a big world title match at SummerSlam. So who you're gonna have? You can't, like, Naomi can lose because she has the briefcase, but why?
Yeah, which makes me think Jade is going to win because I don't see Jade losing before SummerSlam.
Exactly.
And the way that this feud has been booked, Jade has just been clobbering her every time they get into matches. So I guess you're doing a no holds bar stipulation to give Naomi a bit of a chance, but meh. Yeah, not enthused at all by this card. I really wanted to go to this show at one point, and it kind of feels like I'm not missing anything now because I can catch it when I get back from Dallas. But I'm very shocked that they don't have more for the women. I'm very shocked that at this point, they didn't do more to make this show feel special.
Yeah. It was so easy, Phil. Like they didn't have to jump out any windows. They didn't have to do anything crazy. They could have promoted this for 2 more weeks and it would have felt special. They could have put these matches together a little bit differently and it'd been so much different. Not putting it on this weekend would have been the best idea, but
yeah,
we're playing games over here.
You can poke holes at the way that they've booked the women this year as well. I think that is part of why this show feels kind of underwhelming because they haven't really been doing anything that great with either of the main champions since WrestleMania. I think it's wild. Like we've had how many pay-per-views since then? Backlash, Money in the Bank. We've had at least 3, right?
Was there one between? No, there wasn't anything between WrestleMania and Backlash. I think just those 2.
Yeah, well, we had Backlash, Money in the Bank.
Oh, the Saudi show, Night of Champions.
That's right, Night of Champions.
Yeah.
And yeah, neither of the main women's titles were represented on any of those pay-per-views. I don't think that that's really a good look
at all. And then you're gonna have like essentially, it feels like Rhea just come in and get her belt back, and that's it. Like it just doesn't feel great.
Yeah, definitely feels like a here damn show.
And it'll work out. They'll probably sell out the rest of those 6,000 tickets, and people will be there, and they'll put together a fun show, and they'll have some Hall of Famers in the crowd, and we'll feel good about it. But it could have been so much better.
Yeah. Kind of feels like when you beg your mother over and over to get this one thing from the grocery store, and at one time she's like, "Here, fine, here, put it in the refrigerator," and you eat it once, and it's like, "Oh, this is kind of bad. I don't like this." And then you get that lecture once it spoils. Don't ask for this again.
That's me with this. There's like this Mexican coconut candy, and it looks like red, white, and green. And I want it so bad, and I beg and I beg and I beg, and same story that you're telling here, and like this is what you're getting for asking 5,000 times. Like I know you weren't gonna like it.
Yeah, and don't ask again.
Don't ask again.
I feel like that's where we're heading with this, where it's not going to do that well, and other than the fact that I don't care for the build, and I think they could have done more to promote this. The matches are probably going to be good because the wrestlers we have here, like, I think Trish has been great every time they brought her back. I think her and Tiffany can have a good match. I mean, Rhea and EO are going to have a good match. Jordan Grace has been killing it. So I have no doubt that those matches are going to perform well. And if we do get a triple threat match, like you said, that could easily end up being match of the night. But yeah, just, would have liked to see some more here. That's all.
I keep thinking about people who are posting that quote from Becky's book and quotes that she said before, kind of about wanting to, she doesn't really loathe, or she isn't super interested in having these women's pay-per-views because she'd rather be put on like equal ground. And like, I feel like that's gonna be the story coming out of this of like, see, we don't really like, I feel like some of the women are even gonna be like, it's chill, just like make us on equal footing coming out of this because y'all don't really give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been so many women that have campaigned for this, and there's so many women that are excited. I mean, we just got the Mercedes quote where she talked about it, and they just could have done better here.
That's it. Easy as that. I appreciate that, Eloquent. Anwar Starwind says, every time it feels like New Japan is back, they get or create bad luck. This year is feeling like 23 all over again. I'm not falling for that, Anton-ish.
Yeah, we did get a New Japan show this week as well. There's another one tonight. New Japan Soul took place on 4th of July morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was a solid show. It had some stuff that's going to play out in the G1 because they had the play-in matches. Here,
The
another
plans.
get this card in front of me because I did not have it in front of me. But most of the undercard was basically what it is. It's undercard matches, big multi-man matches, tag matches. But the play-in matches and the main event were the real reason to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ryohei Oiwa taking on Satoshi Kojima. Pretty strong match for what it was. Ryohei picked up the win. Of course, Ryohei will be in the G1, which he should be because Oiwa is awesome. So I'm glad that, always happy to see Kojima, but get the young guy in there.
Mm-hmm. Like Kojima's a good veteran addition. He's been in G1 before, so having him in there in this play-in, I think, played a big role. But Oil was like, he should have been automatically in there, but I understand why they did this.
Yeah, we also got Chase Owens with his new cowboy gimmick thing that's very much not for me. When he was coming out and with the new music and he's got his new ring jacket and cowboy hat, I was just like, okay, we're here. And so, introducing a new gimmick and joining House of Torture, I was immediately worried because I was like, okay, you probably are going to have him in the G1 to justify this, right? Nope. Yoshihashi beat him. Yoshihashi will be in the G1. I popped big for this early in the morning. I was like, let's go, Yoshi. This guy up out of here.
Never been happier for a Yoshihashi victory than seeing him standing tall over a fallen Chase Owens. And Yoshihashi's a sneaky one because he could be in the G1 and you can put on a banger one night that out of nowhere. So definitely very happy that he got that win there. My favorite thing of the night, honestly.
Yeah, Leonard, it does remind me of the JBL bit where he shows up with the slicker and the cowboy hat. I did think that when he came out, and yeah, glad we're not going to be subjected to that throughout the G1.
Listen, Phil, I'm not mad at anybody for trying something new, like jumping out there with the new gimmick is hard for wrestlers, especially when you've already established something. So I'm not mad at it, but it's going to take some hills to climb, Mr. Owens.
Yeah, Master Wato, Toru Yano, and Yo took on House of Torture, picked up the win. Pretty match, to be honest. A standard House of Torture affair, but we do have new champions, and so that's at least good. After the last pay-per-view, and there was so much House of Torture shenanigans, there were so many House of Torture wins. At least we got a different result here. It's at least something. I don't know.
It's a result.
Yeah. But yeah, the main event with the real talking point here, Gabe Kidd took on Hiroshi Tanahashi. Of course, that plays into the Wrestle Dynasty match with Kenny Omega, where Gabe defended New Japan. He was a representative for New Japan against Kenny Omega, and afterwards we got the meme of Tana crying on commentary and what that meant to him, seeing like fighting spirit on display like that. And so I thought that this was a great full circle moment to get the match with Gabe during his farewell tour. Gabe, the video package they aired was great as well. If you saw it, they've been kind of airing that throughout the week. We've been getting the Gabe interviews. This is Gabe's first IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship defense. And I thought it was great. I thought it was a really, really good match. I think Gabe works really well in this spot as like a guy that's just like, I'm trying to put the flag on the map for New Japan to let you guys know there's still great young and up and comers here. I'm leading the pack. You don't have to worry. Naito might be gone. Okada might be gone. Tanahashi's leaving, but there are guys like me that are still here. There's Shingo. There is somebody like Oyo and all these other guys. And like I said, I think he had a great match. Tanahashi, man, every time I keep thinking like, yeah, this guy's knees are beating the shit. I don't know how much he can still give us, but his last few matches, he's performed very well. I thought the match that he had at the show here in Chicago, Windy City Riot, he performed very well against Takeshita, but it's Takeshita who doesn't perform well with Takeshita. But he's had a few of these where I'm like, this guy still can tell a great story in ring. This match started slow, but the longer it went on, I thought the storytelling was great. The ending sequence was really good. Like I said, this guy still can still have one of these ones, man. There's a reason why people consider him one of the greatest of all time.
Honestly, that's what when they announced this retirement run for Tanahashi, there was a mix of emotions from all of us, and we were kind of interested in what would the matches be like, and the difference in opponents. But like you're describing here, I think the last couple of matches he's had, the cortisone shots or whatever he's been getting in them knees, been cortisoning because brother has been hooping. There's been an extra pep in his step or something. I think just because he wants to leave this as a wrestler and better than he could ever imagine, I think, and putting over these young guys and being involved in so many high profile angles, I think has been helping New Japan. Giving Gabe Kidd a match like this, his first global title defense, and kind of what coming off the last pay-per-view and how people were feeling about Gabe, I think was perfect. The promos that he did leading into this, it felt like he kind of took what he was seeing and reading and channeled that and into the match. Like great performance, I think, from Gabe Kidd. One was really needed. The pressure was kind of on a little bit, Phil.
Yeah, I think, giving him the main event here, giving him one of Tanahashi's retirement matches, there was definitely going to be a lot of spotlights on him. But you got to give him credit. Every time he's been put in this position, he's performed very well. I still think that the match with Kenny is one of the best matches of this year. And he's had a few of those. I mean, the Ishii matches he's had this year, he's had a great year. And I mean, Tanahashi, man, I just can't say enough how I was impressed that this guy went out there and did this. I think what it is he's slower now. He's not nearly as athletic as he used to be, but he still has the mechanics. He still has the psychology. He still knows how to put together a good match. And this match was really suspenseful. At the end, I was like, man, Tanahashi could win this thing. But of course, Gabe Kidd did pick up the win. At one point, Gabe pulled off a sling blade off of the top rope that looked crazy, and then he went for the high fly flow. Of course, missed it because what are you doing trying to hit the Ace with his move? Ace got up and hit him with a high fly flow. Got a great near fall out of that. But of course, like I said, we knew where this was going. In the end, Gabe Kidd did pick up the win. He cut a great promo afterwards where he talked about, again, how much wrestling has affected him and like the bout of depression he went through and how he never thought he would get up to this moment of being able to perform on this stage against one of the greatest New Japan wrestlers of all time. And I thought that was a great moment. Tanahashi's farewell tour has been booked tremendously well, despite other things in New Japan that haven't been as great. I think throughout the year so far, his farewell tour has been one of the highlights of the year.
I think we're going to look back on it in totality and be like, wow, that was amazing. That was great. We got all the matches we wanted to see. He got the farewell that he deserved. I actually been thinking about this this week, Phil, and you describing Tanahashi with the match that we're going to talk about here later in the show with Ibushi. Japanese wrestling has kind of shifted in like presentation and how it is. It's kind of focused on not younger guys, but guys that are in like their 30s and like around that age. Like, but back in the day, Japanese wrestling was about like old Japanese guys beating ass. Like they would come in, they didn't need to do high spots. They were just like coming in and fighting and giving off this emotion and ring psychology and all that. And so seeing Tanahashi and Ibushi this week, I'm like, we don't need the guys that they were 20 years ago. We don't need them doing the high spots and moving at 1,000 miles per hour, because they could just become those old Japanese guys that just beat ass, and both of them did that this week.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I guess like for Tanahashi, because he's not really a strong style wrestler. Like a lot of his move set isn't heavy strikes, so it's a bit different than what you think of from like a guy like Ishii or like, I mean, he's not old, but like even when you think of like Shibata and just how Shibata hits people and the way that Nakamura, when he taps in, he can still hit very hard. It's just a different style of wrestling. So a guy that you really did a lot of high flying stuff for most of his career, you didn't really know how well he's going to age. And for a minute, it was looking kind of rough for my guy. He was having some matches where he didn't look great. But this year, I think he's been mostly having bangers, man. I've been pleasantly surprised by how good the matches have been.
Yeah, it seemed like for a while he was still like trying to do the flying stuff and still trying to mix that stuff in, but his knees weren't. They were like, nah, we're not. That's not what we're about to do out here, Tanahashi. But yeah, it's been amazing. I think the way that it ends and capped off is gonna destroy people's emotions, and it's gonna be great. It's been so fun, and there's still a good couple of months to go with it, Phil.
Yeah. It is wild to just think about a world where he's not going to be wrestling. I mean, for the past decade, one of the most famous New Japan wrestlers. It's crazy. But yeah, when you do think of like the older guys, like when you think of like Inoki and all of those guys, like they come out and just like hit you with like the heavy chops, and they're gonna beat you up. Like
Inoki and Giant Baba and all those guys are just coming in and just like, nah, we ain't no high spots out here. Take these chops.
Yeah, get these kicks.
Get these kicks.
Get these big open palm slaps to the face.
And Tanahashi could just become that, man. They don't have to be over, Tanahashi. We can keep doing this. But no, going out great. It's so funny, the parallels that they talked for years that he was Japanese John Cena, and they're both going on their fucking retirement tour at the exact same time, Phil, and how completely different they are.
Yeah, nah. Tanahashi's farewell tour is vastly better. I don't even think it's close.
Not even in the same ballpark.
Yeah, we did get to hear from Zack Sabre Jr. on the show. I still think it's very strange that they put the title on him on a show that not a lot of people got to see outside of Japan. But we also got the news that Goto has an injured elbow, I believe.
Right.
So I don't know how much that played into the decision to take the belt off of him. I know that Dave put out a report that he was hearing that they were going to take the belt off of him as early as a few months ago. I don't know how much of this injury is kayfabe stuff as well, because they also announced that he will not compete in the G1 because of the injury. To me, it kind of feels like they're putting over what Zack was willing to do to get the belt back. Like, all right, you beat me in this screwy finish last time. This time, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to put you in a hold and force you to tap out. I'm going to get my belt back. And that kind of led into what he said in his promo, which I thought the promo was fire. He was like, yeah, I'm not looking to be a hero for this company. I'm not looking to be this guy that you guys idolize. If y'all want any of these young guys want to be in my spot, you got to beat me. And I was like, okay, we back. Here the Sabres back. This is what we're talking about, man. I don't need to hear none of this. I'm here to be well liked. I'm here to wave this flag and, carry the torch for this company and give you guys something to aspire to. No. I'm here to beat all of your favorites up, tie them up in holes, and if they want this belt, you got to beat me.
Yes, the way that it should be. Like it's so funny because he's like, I'm not carrying the flag, but him doing what he's about to do is carrying the flag so hard. So it's like, I hear what you're saying, Zach, and you're right. But this is that New Japan shit, so we love it. Very excited about this. It's kind of some shots at like Gabe Kids type of deal too. So I'm loving it.
But I think he's just making a point that any of these young guys,
if you want it, smoke.
We're going back in the G1 season. It's the same thing I was telling y'all last year when I won it. All of these new guys that you keep saying, like this guy's next up, that guy's next up. I'm still here. You still got to beat me.
Because they do keep doing that. They keep saying this guy's the next guy, this guy the next guy. And Zack Sabre Jr. keeps being like, I'm the guy now, though.
Yes. So I do like that. I don't like that this is how Goto's run ended.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I wish that they had done this better, but the idea of Zack carrying this belt into the dome and potentially wrestling Takeshita, I'll take it.
Takeshita and Zack Sabre Jr. in the
I'll take it.
fucking dome, Phil. What?
I'll take it because he's still my pick at this point to win the G1, and I do think he's gonna win the World Championship sooner rather than later. I don't know if it'll be at the end of this year. I don't know if it'll be in January, but I do think he's gonna win that belt.
Takeshita winning the belt in the dome would be fucking legendary.
Yeah, but yeah, excited for what the G1 means. I already see people that are worried that this could lead us back to Shota versus Zack 2. I hope that's not the route we're going.
New Japan would run that shit back to back, though.
Please don't. Gato, don't do that.
That is a New Japan ass move, though.
Please don't, Gato. Please.
Try it again. Look, we gotta. It was once. Let's see if Shota could do it twice this time. Please don't.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Did you end up watching the Goto and Zack Sabre Jr.? Did they release the match in full?
It's still not on New Japan World. They talked about it a little bit during this show. I think it was Chris Carlton talked about it. That they're gonna potentially put it on streaming soon. I just still can't believe it's. Now you got this big title change on this show, and it's not.
It's still not available.
It's not available to watch. That's wild.
And they care so. That belt is so prestigious, dog. Like the way that they present it, the title matches, the title changes, they're always so in tune. And this is just kind of baffling. I kind of hate that they announced the Goto shit so soon, because it puts, and now it's the what if, like exactly what we're thinking about on this. Like, is that the reason that he dropped the belt? I kind of wish there weren't what ifs surrounding it, because like both the wrestlers don't deserve that. Goto doesn't deserve that at the end of his run, and Zack Sabre doesn't deserve that winning and moving forward with it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody I've heard talk about this, they've said that this match is fire. So I'm looking forward to being able to see it, but yeah, it's not on any streaming platforms as of yet.
And it could have been on this show that we just talked about.
Yeah, we got a great pull apart brawl between Zack and Oleg as well. I believe they're in the same block, so they will face each other in the G1. At least I think they're in the same block. Let's double check this. Let's see. No, they're not in the same block. Oleg is in block A. Zack Sabre is in block B. But yeah, the field so far for the G1 in block A, it will be Bolton Oleg, Evil, David Finlay, Callum Newman, Ryohei Oiwa, Sonata, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Yota Tsuji, and Yuya Uemura. In the B block, it'll be El Phantasmo, Gabe Kidd, Drilla Maloney, Ren Narita, Great-O-Khan, Zack Sabre Jr., Shingo Takagi, Konosuke Takeshita, Shota Umino, and Yoshihashi.
Okay, so block B is where it's at.
Yeah, block B is looking fire so far.
Block B, some heat. Those are the guys over there. But yeah, it feels like you describing all those. I'm like, yeah, I think I might be with Phil. Takeshita got a really, really good chance in this.
Takeshita's my pick to win. I think he's heading to the dome with that briefcase.
What this guy has done in not that long in New Japan is unheard of, almost, Phil. It's not normal for a guy to come from a different promotion and cook like this.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for the G1. If it's as good as last year's, should be a lot of fun. Hopefully there's not a lot of House of Torture shenanigans again, but I suppose that is unavoidable at this point.
I was like, good luck, brother. Because you know Gato's up there right now, like House of Torture, House of Torture, House of Torture. Shout out to New Japan, shout out to the G1 coming up, and shout out to Anwar for submitting that New Japan talk. The homie Malcolm Brown says Reg just doesn't know real love. Yeah, and that's probably why I never got married. I didn't believe in marriage because I just don't know it. Real love.
That commercial. I saw it the other day too. I was like, bro. I really need to know. Like, somebody's got to ask Mary, what does she think of this by now?
Please, somebody. I know she's gonna be on an interview, a podcast, or something. She's on tour right now, so somebody got to talk to Mary and ask her about it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Malcolm. The homie Joseph Molina says, I saw some shit go down in Vallejo last month. I ain't calling VPD for shit. Yeah, you do not want to call the Vallejo police. They will come through and yeah, it's just you can't out here. And I'm like, they're busy with their thing, doing busy right now, very busy in Oakland, California. They don't need to be with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Some police stopped next to me and was asking me questions the other day, and I was looking around like,
You fit a description, or they were just trying to get directions?
No, it was something like a guy came speeding by, and they were asking what direction he went in. And I was just like, ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know. I didn't see nothing.
They try to fulfill on the stand. That's crazy.
I was looking out like, I ain't see nothing. All right. What you talking about? What car?
Which way did he go? Which way did who go? I was looking down the whole time.
I was looking at my phone. It was a car? Where?
Cars? What? It was a car. Yeah, no, you ain't getting me involved in this. Somebody could be watching me talking to you and like, what? Dude, leave me out of this.
That is one of my favorite bits from King of the Hill as well. That Dale will be just like anti-authority, anti-police, anti-government, all of this, and then he gets cornered. He was like, "It was Bill. Bill did it. I told him not to do it."
Instantly,
he right away.
Every time. He do not care. Like if he caught, everybody caught, and that's his MO.
Shackelford, Rusty Shackelford.
Oh man, appreciate that, Joe. Single Blue Note Defender says Dynamite and Collision were fun live in Ontario. Great seats for under $60 on the hard cam side too. Crowd was loud as fuck for Brody King, but especially Mystico and on Collision.
Telling you, man, Brody is my dark horse that I want to win this battle royal because I want him to get a title match.
He out of there, Brody. I didn't think about that. Brody winning this battle royal. Yeah. That might hit. This guy is every week keeps gaining more and more, whatever it is that makes him hot. Brody King, that reception this week, how California feels about him. He's a legend around these parts. And the way that he's been moving with the anti-ice stuff that he's been doing, I'm like, this guy's incredible. I still say that they just need to put this guy's band out there one time for his entrance and have him growl. People would be like, that would change a lot. That would
be fire. But yeah, man, shout out to him. He took that moment in Mexico with the shirt, and he didn't just stop with the shirt. He went and they put some shirts together, and he's taking all the proceeds and donating it to families that are affected by a lot of this stuff with ice. So shout out to him, man. That's such a great thing to do. And I mean, when you're in so many conversations with people like, oh, this wrestler doesn't stand up for these things, or did this person, really stand on business, man? What a great thing to do, man. Shout out to him, man.
Not surprised one bit that he's taking all the proceeds and donating them, because that's the type of guy that he is. That's the type of humble human being that he's always been. If the shirts are still available, you guys should definitely go get one, because like we said, it's being donated to a great cause, and we need more for the homie Brody King. I think that was kind of the talk coming out of it too, Phil, is a lot of people are like, there's some wrestlers in AEW that get into this position of they're put into a high position, they're put into great matches, but they never really get a big victory, and Brody King needs a big victory.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I would not be mad at all at him winning the Battle Royal. Yeah, Sal Cruz, I saw that episode earlier where he was bragging about his new mower, Dale, and
Mhm.
so Hank and others pranked him. They stole his mower, and so there's one point where John Redcorn is trying to like sneak through the window, and he triggers this BB gun, and so he comes out there, and he's like, "I know what you're here for, John," and he's like, "Dale, I didn't think you would find out like this. My mower, stay away from my mower." It's so funny, man.
That was a pretty good Dale impression there, Phil. Not too bad, not too bad. And then Mystico, I'm excited to see Collision tonight. I think anytime he's featured on there, it's great. In California, they definitely know what's up. I heard that he got a giant reception in Ontario, so should be pretty dope. Appreciate that single blue note, the panda. The homie Leonard Aarons III says, streets tell me the build for Evolution has been unwiped cheeks. I'd say I'm shocked, but I'm far from it. They didn't want to do this in the shows. Mad good through and through. They are, he says.
Yeah, not a good build so far.
Yeah, it's been kind of unfortunate just because we keep saying it's going to be the we told you so, and we don't need a we told you so. It'll still be watched and viewed and probably grow bigger than the initial night, but it's just unfortunate how it all happened. And we still got one more week to see how they fill out the card and what goes on. So something could happen.
Yeah.
They could announce a bunch of people. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that triple threat match will be announced this week. And, we might get some surprises in a battle royal, but yeah.
We'll see. Appreciate that, homie Leonard Aarons. Single blue note, the panda also says AEW fans in my area went fanboy hard for Takeshita and Omega in Ontario.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. Every time Takeshita shows up now and he does one of these standoff things, like, bro, that standoff with Okada a few weeks ago, I was like, yeah, we need that one-on-one match.
I keep thinking back to that, and I'm like, if they wait, like, because I don't know who's gonna win, Kenny and Okada. Like, Okada could continue to carry this championship, and they could lead to him and Takeshita in a big showdown one day. Like, there's a lot of good that's gonna come out of this. And that Omega pop was crazy, but nobody's surprised. Yeah. It's Ken Flow. I appreciate that single blue nut, the panda. I think that's all of our super chats for now.
Yeah, appreciate you. Send us your super chats. That is the best way to get your chat read on this very podcast. You can also send us your humper chats via humperchats.com/Fightful.
Yes, sir. Humpies, soupies.
We got some humper chats, I believe. Refreshing the page.
Soupies. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we got some from Humper Chats regular Tony P. He says there wasn't a clear, fun petty of the week winner. I could nominate Hangman for what he did to Marina or the ancestors and Lake Lanier for exploding that boat yesterday. But you can add your own candidates and pick between the 3 or 4.
Petty of the week. It's been a sick one this week, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Drake.
Yeah, just because his voice actor is no longer here, and like I said, I've been watching a lot of King of the Hill. Got to give the legend Dale Gribble petty of the week, because he's been in so many situations where he's standing back watching something happen, and then he'll laugh at the worst time, like, like Bill gets hit with the ball when he's at that baseball game, and so he goes and sits at the bench, and he's like rubbing his face, and then he gets hit in the groin, and he just dies laughing at him. Doesn't even try to help him.
Dale could definitely be petty of the week, petty of the month, petty of the year.
Yeah. So you got more from Tony P. He says, NBA free agency is off to a unique but slow start. The Giannis drama in Milwaukee has been the most fun part. I didn't see SmackDown yet, but seeing the spoilers, I may watch it. NXT has been missable for a bit. I have some thoughts, and I would like your thoughts later. Yeah, I don't really watch NXT like this. So I don't have many thoughts on that show. I did not watch SmackDown last night, but I did plan to watch it. I just didn't get a chance to catch it yet. The free agency stuff was. I did not expect the stuff with Milwaukee this week. Cutting Dame while he's injured. He just tore his Achilles in the playoffs, and he got cut so that they can make room to pay Miles Turner, which look, Miles Turner is a good player. I don't know that I would have been trying to move heaven and earth to get Miles Turner, though.
Interesting choice, I thought, with Milwaukee. Like initially when they announced the Dame thing, I was upset and hurt, but then I was like, oh, he's getting paid for also still. Like...
He seems very happy about it. I think people forgot as well that when he initially left Portland, he didn't really get a chance to pick where he went because he got traded. Now he's looking at it like, well, I can pick where I go, and I'm getting paid while I recover. Sounds like a deal to me.
Yeah, he was out in his home of Oakland, California, living life, probably sitting back, chilling. So I'm excited to see what the future, hopefully if his recovery and everything goes okay, but different time than his previous team, different being traded to a different team, you know?
Yeah. Thinking about how we talked about it when he first went over there, the idea of him playing with Giannis, I thought that, they were going to be dominant. They were going to be scary. This ended up being a big flop. I just think this era of putting superstars together and making super teams is over.
It don't hit the same. That show was over after like 10 games too, Phil. Like immediately they were like, this isn't going to work out.
Once Homeboy got fired, their coach, and then they brought in Doc Rivers, I was like, I don't know.
And Doc did not like Dame. Every time he would talk about Dame, I'd be like, this guy doesn't like this guy. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here, but they're not going to work out. And they never worked out.
Yeah, East is wide open. Celtics are going to be in a tough situation without Tatum. They made a good move. Brought the homie Anthony Simons from Portland. Very happy for that kid because he's very good. And I thought for the longest he's got to get off this Portland team because it's heading nowhere. And so this is a good opportunity for him to play on a team that can compete in the playoffs. I don't know how the rest of Boston looks without Tatum. And then Indiana's going to struggle as well. They just lost Miles Turner, and they're not going to have Halliburton for most of the year. They're going to struggle as well. So, the top of the conference is wide open. Milwaukee also, you don't know what Milwaukee's going to look like now. New York is transitioning from the Thibodeau era to the Mike Brown era. So I don't know how that's going to look. It's wide open.
The amount of times we've heard Knicks and transitioning into a new era, it's like every year, I think at this point.
Hopefully Lonzo can stay healthy next year. He's going to be on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that's a good opportunity for him. He's somebody I want to see on a playoff team, and the Bulls are just what they are. And so I think it's a good move for him. Hopefully it works out. I just want him to have, a consistent remainder of his career because for a minute it didn't look like he was going to be able to come back and play.
No, it didn't. It was looking bad. I mean, with what the Cavaliers did this year, Phil, and what you were talking about with how the struggles some of these teams that did exceptionally well this year are going to have next year, the Cavaliers with Lonzo healthy, and they might be able to do something.
Yeah. Curious to see if the Magic can keep it up after this year. They had a solid season.
Yep.
Pistons came back pretty well after a very terrible season last year, and they were good. Actually made the playoffs. So, East is wide open next year. I don't know what it's going to look like.
I'm scared. The West is still going to be the West. Thanks.
I don't know, Twan. I think Mike Brown is a good hire for you guys. I still think that they should have given Tibbs another year. I still don't know how you justify firing a guy that got you to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in probably like 20 years. And I don't know. I think you could have given him another year, but we'll see.
The way that basketball works is so weird. Like the same thing with like Mike Malone when they fired him, how they'll be like, oh, this was already in the works. But it's like, but he took you guys to the damn, I don't care if it's in the works. I think wouldn't you want to change? But with how business works, they don't care about none of that. Like win or lose, this guy was gone.
Yeah, fire Mike Malone is still one of the most wild. That was one of the wildest moves this year. Like right before the playoffs, that was crazy.
Bro had to go be on TV as like an analyst.
People were mad at him too. He got on was saying that he thought SGA deserved to win MVP, and people thought he was throwing shade. And it's like, I think he was just being honest, man. I don't think he was trying to shade Jokic.
No. Like they told him, they're paying him to analyze this and talk like he would as this guy, not as Mike Malone, the coach of the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
People were so mad though.
People were upset. I don't know. Let's see. We got more from Tony P. He says, Raw was odd, not bad or good. The title win for JD and Finn feels connected to Liv's injury and to prolong that story, which sucks for New Day. They made Big Gunt look like a... No, I'm sorry. They made Big Gunt look like a big bitch. We got Rhea, EO again, Ludwig shit. Plus, no one cares about Rusev. I keep forgetting Miro's back over there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, just keep forgetting. But yeah, I was in and out on Raw. I think that because that was my birthday, so I wasn't at home much. So I saw bits and pieces of it.
Didn't Finn and JD have like a 6 to 7, 8 month reign where they defended those belts like one time? Wasn't that like not that long ago?
Yep. It's like, yeah.
What is this? Remember, I have to stop saying remember blah 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 because I got in trouble. Remember the New Day's heel turn and split breakup thing, Phil? Remember that?
That was one of my few tweets that day, and people, I wouldn't say people got upset, but I got a lot of replies to that tweet because I was like, bro, they dropped the ball with this heel turn. Like, what's going on here? They had one of the best heel turns in recent memory. They had a memorable moment with Big E on the celebration of their anniversary, and they could have done something really cool with that, man. They had some legitimate heat. They were coming out and getting booed. Yes. And they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything story-wise.
They didn't do nothing.
They eventually put the belts on them, but I think that they waited too long to put the belts on them. They let them cool off before they put the belts on them. We got this unnecessary ass War Raiders reign in between there. Wow. And then when you finally put the belts on them, they didn't do anything memorable as champions. They didn't really have any feuds. It's just like, dog, what are y'all doing? Like they had something really cool coming out of last year, and then they did nothing with it.
Like nowhere close to being featured on a pay-per-view. Like they were trying, Phil, the Woods and Kofi themselves, like doing things on TV. They're trying to get heat with the crowd and like trying to do this, but the TV time did not reflect that.
Yeah, there were some weeks where once they made the debut on Netflix, they weren't even on the show. Right. They were cutting promos in between during the commercial segments. And right. I'm just like, man, you guys, it's not like this is just New Day. You guys had this great reaction to them, man. I mean, what I was told before when Dominic was coming out and getting booed, I was told this is why he's on TV. This is why they're pushing him so heavy because he's getting a reaction. These guys were getting a reaction too, and then they just stopped really promoting them. They stopped pushing them forward. I don't know why.
I mean, I know why. You want to get into why?
You get your Simon Miller. Here's why.
But no, I think back to that E confrontation often, and I'm like, damn, that was so emotional for us. Like that meant so much to us. You know what I mean? Like, and it just led to nothing.
Man, it's so it's so rare where you can get something like that and blur the lines, and it was executed so well. He did that players tribute article the same day, and they elicited some real emotion or something like that, and then it just went nowhere. It just went nowhere. I just can't believe they wasted that.
What do you think happens with those guys moving forward?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting the belts back sometime this year, because Judgment Day is not going to hold those belts back.
No.
Like, I mean, the Finn stuff is another thing. Like, what the hell are they doing with Finn? Get him out of that group, bro. They keep teasing his breakup. They keep going, oh, well, look, he's doing sneaky stuff. All right, well, get him out of there. He's been in that group for too long.
Way too long, man, because this is still a guy that you could have at the top of the card. They could announce Finn and Big Goonts tomorrow and it'd be lit, but they're not going to.
Man, do something else with this guy, bro.
Mm-hmm. They don't know. And then it's funny because tomorrow you guys check out, I'll be on Busted Open Radio with the homie Jonathan Hood, and he was all, we got into AJ Styles, and so there's some news that came out this week that AJ potentially signed a 1-year extension, and he's going to be a WWE superstar until retirement. And it's like, great for you. I'm so happy you have a family, probably making a lot of money. But I would have, if you would have, that would have been not that bad. And Finn, I feel the exact same way. Like, I feel like he's living a comfortable, plush life, great time over in WWE. And like, he doesn't have a lot. Well, I don't know how he feels about his wrestling thing, but it can't be like a super bunch, a lot more years here on this wrestling thing.
Finn is the guy I wanted to leave. I wanted him out of there so bad. AJ, I feel like this is it. I think he's going to retire. I think he's going to retire a WWE wrestler.
Me too. But there's a list of people that I think AEW, the foundation was built upon, and Finn is one of those guys. Like, I feel like what he was doing in New Japan and around those times inspired a lot of what this company and other things have been, and he's been kind of tucked away for a very long time.
His contract was up last year, I believe. Just the idea of him going over there, and he could have been on some AEW shows with New Japan wrestlers. He could have been on that Forbidden Door show, possibly in New York. I was at that show.
I just thought of 3 matches and my head exploded. I was like, he could have, oh my God. And that was just 3 matches. So
yeah, I really wish he would have left, but
damn,
what can you do? Yeah, totally dropped the ball with this New Day heel turn.
Man.
Unfortunate. I don't know what the move is moving forward with Judgment Day. I'm just so over Judgment Day at this point. I just don't care. Like, they keep trying to tell us, look, there are cracks in the surface. They're gonna split up. I just do it already. Just pull the trigger. Just do it.
And they added Roxanne because of the Liv stuff, and it's just lost Carlito and Damian Priest is gonna just get rid of this group, you guys. Like, we understand it played a role, but I think we're good here.
You still are teasing stuff with Rhea in this group, which
what?
Stop, man. Just leave us alone. Leave us alone. And I mean, look, Rhea and Raquel had a great match at Night of Champions, man. I will give them credit, but God, man, just do something else. Please do something else.
Get Rhea the fuzz away from this.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I remember where I was when I looked down at my phone, because I was outside and I saw that the New Day lost, and I was just like, okay. And then I saw who they lost to. I was just like,
all right. Definitely, I know that ain't who I think it is. Was exactly when I heard the New Day of JD and Finn, and I was like, the what now?
Yeah, I saw the clip that I'm assuming Tony's talking about of Paul. I'm sorry, not Paul. Gunther in the ring, and then Punk shoved him down. I was like, oh, that's not going to go over well.
And it did not go over well.
Sure seems like we are teasing Gunther versus Punk at SummerSlam.
The Punk that just lost to John Cena 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Huh?
But see, I think why not? I don't know. Yeah, what else you gonna do? You gonna give Jay another match?
Yeah.
I mean, I just think the way they built the things right now is part of the problem.
It's weird.
It's just it's basically get to the dance and then we'll figure out after the fact.
Cause CM Punk and Gunther at SummerSlam for the championship. Yes, but like this is how.
Yeah. The problem is, to me, and I said this at the time, this should have been a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
I still think that Punk should have just won the Rumble, and this should have been a match at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just based off of he had been calling this guy's name for most of the year. He was in the middle of that feud with Drew. He was like, "Hey Gunther, what you doing?" And Drew would come back out and terrorize him some more. He's like, "No, I was trying to challenge for his belt. Like, leave me alone." Then he finished that feud and he was like, "Hey Gunther, you ready to come outside?" And then we still didn't get the match.
Do you think the Jey Uso stuff, could it have been somewhere else? Like, could he not have beat Gunther at WrestleMania?
I was going to say, I don't know that it really served its purpose, but no, I do think that it benefited.
I think
Jay.
that was my real question, but I'm like, I
do think it benefited
he's
Jay.
Over as fuck. Right.
He got a Royal Rumble win. He got a win at WrestleMania. And, he got to hold the belt for a bit. So it didn't harm him. I just still think that, I just think he should just did the Punk match at WrestleMania. Because now nobody believes Goldberg is going to win next weekend. And God, he should not win.
Definitely should not.
So I would assume Gunther is going to retain and he's going to take the belt in the SummerSlam.
What if imagine if Goldberg takes it in and him and CM Punk? No, but I've been seeing a bunch of people doing that. Like, oh, it'll be really funny though. It wouldn't be really funny if Goldberg won the belt.
Goldberg versus Punk sounds nuts. I don't see that going well.
That would not work out. Politics would explode if CM Punk and Goldberg tried to be in the feud together. Yeah, so we expect Gunther to come out of that with the championship, and this is leading to that. Because again, we need big matches, and that's a big match.
Yeah.
But he did just lose a title match to John Cena 4 days ago, a week ago.
It's semantics, man. Come on.
That's how they want the fans to be too. Like, I don't know, just man, what's that? That was a week ago.
That's old stuff, right? How you bringing up old stuff? Oh,
it's like touche, man, touche.
I guess. More from Tony P. He says the end ring, though, my word, it was good. Loved both tag matches. Sheamus versus Rusev beat the holy hell out of each other. Like the move they did to set up the 3-way at Evolution with the count out. Speaking of that show, I seen the the WrestleTix numbers today. Rhea retweeting it feels like so many messages in one, from please support us to Triple H and Nick set us the fuck up here.
Rhea retweeted it.
Did she?
If she did, that's if Rhea retweeted a WrestleTix thing about Evolution, that's insane. I don't know if you should do that, Rhea.
Come watch our show. Come watch our little small show we're doing in Atlanta. Like really? Oh shit! Oh no! I think you should do that.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. This even feels kind of unfortunate because we're talking numbers again. Like fucking 6,000 people is a lot of people to watch a wrestling show, but that's not where we exist at in this day and age.
Oh, she did retweet it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, as of right now, via this WrestleTix tweet that she retweeted, there are 1,578 tickets available. There are 270 tickets. Total tickets distributed 4,804. The setup is 6,652 seats.
So they've sold 4,800 tickets so far.
Yes. Yeah, but the map, it don't look great. Does not look good. Like
it's a big venue.
Yeah, State Farm.
Oh no, it's a huge venue.
Yeah, it's a very big venue. Her retweeting that's crazy. Wow.
Okay, I take back what I said about, because that is a lot of people, but not in that building. They're gonna have to do something. It's gonna look crazy in there.
They go tarping off the seats in State Farm for Evolution. Ooh. But again, that's their fault. They put this in such a crowded weekend for wrestling, and I'm one of the people that wanted to go. I was just saying, bro, I would have flew out. I would have paid. Like, if you've been watching this podcast, I've been saying from the beginning, I want to go to this show when they announce it, and they put it in a situation where it was not advantageous for me to go.
I don't know if this is gonna sound crazy or if my numbers are way off, but like, if AEW currently has 19,000 people at their show, at minimum 1,000 of those people would have probably went to the show instead. Like, if it wasn't that same weekend, you know what I mean? Like, that's just throwing a number out there. 1,000 of those 19,000 would have probably went to Evolution if it was a different weekend. And that's unfortunate, because you're doing this to wrestling fans and you're trying to play games. So it's unfortunate.
And your wrestlers. I mean, you've got one of the biggest women's wrestlers in your company retweeting that. That looks crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, that looks crazy.
That looks nuts.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
They probably would say don't do that if she was like, if she would have went and said, hey, can I do this to promote the show? They probably would be like, definitely don't do that. So, but when you need people on the front lines, if you need people to fight for this division and fight for us, Rhea Ripley's the perfect person to do it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just think that, because I was going to say maybe that's going to help sell some tickets, but it's a week out, man. It's next Sunday.
It's happening. You have to already have your shit, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just put them in such a bad spot. Sucks.
They're pretty much biggest women's star. Retweeting that is absolutely.
I did not see that, Tony. So if you didn't point that out, neither of us would have noticed that. That's wild, bro. But yeah, Tony says Rhea retweeting it feels like so many messages in one, from please support us to Triple H and Nick set us the fuck up here, which sucks because asshole screaming women don't draw again. They finally redid the poster and added more women. I feel bad for them. Yeah, I think this sucks for the women, and it sucks for fans of women's wrestling as well, because I don't think that this is going to be a good representation of how much the fans are willing to go to support, because I think that it's a poor assumption to just assume that none of the people that would have gone to this show are going to be in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I'm one of them. I want to go to this show, but I'm going to be in Dallas. Mm-hmm. And, I was trying to make plans to possibly go Sunday, but again, they didn't make this easy.
And everything is so completely different than 7 years ago, Phil. Like, the fans of that show, there's new wrestling fans since then that have never seen a full WWE women's wrestling show. That this is going to be their first. This is going to be their first time indulging in this type of thing, and this shouldn't be the representation for that.
You're doing this in a TKO era.
Yeah.
Where you've been touting all of these record gates and touting these big numbers, and now the big outlier is going to be this women's pay-per-view potentially that doesn't sell tickets, and it's a bad look. It's a bad look, man.
I didn't even think about all that. Shit. Every week every pay-per-view, this fool goes into the press conferences and like, we did numbers, brother. Mm-hmm. And like, what's going to be after this one?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's women's wrestling in general, dude. It's not just WWE. It's in a lot of places.
Very passionate fan base. I say all the time, women's wrestling fans are some of the most passionate wrestling fans there are. And I think if they service them well, they will show up. And
that's the point too.
This is just not a good situation.
They want to show up.
Yeah. Right. Again, I wanted this to work.
You want to go.
I wanted this to work so bad. And I feel like this is going to be a black eye on 2025 for them. And they're going to do what they usually do when those kind of things happen.
It's a week. That's a week from tomorrow, right?
Yep.
It's the Sunday show. So like that, we're in it and we're doing it. And like Rhea, potentially this tweet could spark something and we could talk, but it's still like 19,000 of us are going to be in Dallas.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. I want to support it in some way. But it seems like I will be supporting it in front of my TV.
Yes. And talking about it on our podcast and things, we'll help.
Yeah. Tony also says AEW had a fun 300 show. Mercedes is losing at All In. I would be so shocked if she wins. Fans have been saying there needed to be a Texas death match on the show. I didn't expect them to do a second Texas death match between Mox and Hanger or act like they never had one before. LOL. Yeah, we'll get into that. Got some more Humper chats here as well. Before we get into monumental 300th episode, going to hit you with a word from our sponsor.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, Sean here to tell you about MyBookie. Next Saturday, WWE Night of Champions during the afternoon, and you're betting on it at MyBookie. You know our friend Reg is going to be there. He's gonna make the flight. He's going to be wearing a WWE logo hat. He's very excited for John Cena and CM Punk. One more time, Ruthless Aggression era showdown built for the fans with the title on the line. Cena is the favorite right now, but based on history, CM Punk is won in the past. But with MyBookie, you don't just pick the winners. You bet on entrances, finishers, betrayals, shock returns. If you know WWE, you already know how to beat the lines. If you think you know more than their odds setters, go over there and check it out. Sign up with the promo code FIGHTFUL, and they are going to back you on your first deposit. $100 gets you $50 extra as a bonus, and $200 gets you a Benjamin. What you do with it is up to you. WWE, UFC, with MyBookie, you call the shots and you cash in when it counts.
Well, Night of Champions is not next week, but you do have a lot of wrestling next week. NXT Great American Bash, WWE Evolution, AEW All In Texas, Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor,
Saturday night's main event.
You've got a lot of wrestling next week. For all your sports betting needs, mybookie.com is the way to go. Please bet responsibly.
You just named all the shows. I'm like, what?
It's funny because I was sitting looking at all of the stuff that happened this week, and I was like, what are we going to talk about on this podcast? And then I was thinking about like next week. I was like,
it's too much to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 6 shows on this show.
Yeah. But yeah. I also chuckled when I hit the ad read and I leaned over to put some hand sanitizer on my hands because I've been blowing my nose. And I was like, wait, this is an old ad. I was like, well, it's on now.
I was thinking like it's still gonna stop it, but no, it's still an ad. You can still go and get your bets in.
Yeah, no. Sean is hilarious. He sent me a text the other day and I was like, I don't think that's what that means, but all right. Funny guy. I assume we'll see him in Texas. I think he's going.
I would think so, but you never know. These people that cover wrestling, a lot of them like to cover wrestling from home now because it just makes life easier. So I understand if he's like, I'm covering it from the crib.
I believe he's going because usually when he's going to a show, he asked me if I want to do like the post show or something.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm assuming he'll be there.
Mm-hmm. We'll all be there. Texas, shout out to the homies. Chime in if you'll be there. Definitely check in with your boys.
Yeah. And, since we're in the ad spot, can buy hat like the one I'm wearing or the one that Reg is wearing. Grapsody.bigcartel.com. Also have new shirts on there. You can buy those as well.
Texas, baby, we getting lit. You're gonna need a Grapsody shirt for Texas because it's gonna be hot, and you don't want to be wearing something too hot. Get you a lightweight tee. Get you a hat to stay shady, Slim Shady.
But yeah, AEW Dynamite 300 took place this Wednesday. Pivotal episode for Dynamite. It's still wild to think about that AEW has been around for 6 years. I was just thinking about like the first All In. That was 2018. That was
Crazy.
7 years ago.
Crazy.
But yeah, AEW has been around 6 years, making it to 300 episodes. People thought that this is going to be a flash in the pan t-shirt company, and they've showed that they not only have staying power, I feel like they're growing into their own. I think it was Garrett I saw posting about how much better Dynamite has been, and he was saying his hot take was they've gotten past that part where they are leaning on like the momentum for the first year. They're not relying so much on like the surprise debuts every week, and it just feels like the show is growing on its own merits, and I totally agree with that.
Yeah, that's somebody asked us on Ask Grapsody who we thought would be, if we thought there'd be any surprise entrances into the either of the Casino Gauntlet matches. And I was like, AEW I started thinking about that tweet on how they haven't been relying on like big debuts and things to like that. They've just been relying on what the roster brings in because they have so many talented wrestlers. And I was like, the Casino Gauntlet, they have top guys and top women in both these matches. They don't really need to rely on things, and they just haven't been. The transition of what AEW was, and thinking back to everybody always talks about All Out 2021 and that night and the debuts, and like wrestling, AEW pay-per-views and shows don't move like that anymore. It's on the wrestling. It's great to have those debuts, but there's not really anybody sitting in the wings waiting for that. Different story for a different day. I was thinking about how many Dynamites I've been to in this 5 to 6 years times, and there's been so many. I've had so many great times, and at the point of this show on Wednesday, when they got to the main event, it was immediately after Ibushi hit the gigantic top rope Tiger Driver. And I was thinking, the way that wrestling, we could get a match like that on a random Wednesday night, like high caliber, two of the best wrestlers of all time having this crazy thing. And that's what Dynamite is. Dynamite has upped the ante of, back in the day, one match on this Dynamite that happened this weekend would have serviced the internet for 6 months if it just happened randomly in 1996. And they'll do 5 to 6 of them every single week. And for 300 episodes, we've been seeing some of the best matches of all time on Random Wednesday. And they didn't stop. They tried to do it again this Wednesday, Phil.
Yeah, I definitely think that Dynamite has changed wrestling for the better. AEW as a whole has changed wrestling for the better. I think you got right away what Dynamite has brought to wrestling. You got great wrestling on weekly television, and I think that it's definitely changed like where certain people can end up, like what is the value of certain wrestlers, and
value.
Like, it's changed a lot in that way. But yeah, starting with the Hangman promo, this has been like the 3rd or 4th week in a row that we've opened the show with Hangman, and I just continue to say that says a lot. You're going a long way to build this guy as the face of this brand. He has done tremendously well in these segments because Dynamite doesn't usually do the talking segments to open the show. They usually open with a match. And I think that he's done such a great job. I mean, that Grand Slam promo is, I think, one of the greatest things of his career so far. And I think that this was another moment for him that is going to go down really well. Just coming out and making a point of, nope, this means everything to me. I've been telling everybody, winning the Owen, winning this belt means everything. And I'm going to show you why. Texas Death Match. You can't say no. You can't say that I'm not ready for Texas Death Match. And that's why I kind of disagree with Tony, because I think he was very much making a point of, no, I beat you in a Texas death match. You can't puff your chest out at me like you do with everyone else, because no, I've been in there with you. We've had big, crazy, violent matches like this, and I've stood toe to toe with you, and I won. So what are you gonna do? You gonna back down, or you gonna get in this match?
Yeah, the way that he's been starting these shows, and the fans have been molten every moment that when he comes out, when they see his name on the Tron, when he get just everything surrounding him, the fans are totally all in. I think we've been no pun intended. We've been expecting this stipulation to be added just because it's Texas, it's Hangman, it's a big moment. His match is the Texas death match, so why wouldn't you have it? So to get that this week, to get the fire that he's had coming with these promos and leading into this match has been amazing. On the other side, though, Phil, Jon Moxley, this guy,
he's incredible.
Not for nothing. We've talked a lot about what the Death Riders and some of the angles and some of the things that they've done. But this guy is the gimmick. He is Jon Moxley. He is a top guy. He moves like a world champion. He talks like a world champion. He talks like he understands what this all is. He's just great at what he does.
Yeah. Great wrestler. I've been saying it. Him coming out with Marina, he still got it. He still feels like a big star. Still has big aura to him. And then he's been getting his shit off in these promos too, man. Yes. He came out and he's just like, look, man, I know you keep saying you want to be the guy, but I don't think that you're ready to carry this belt. He dropped another mountain reference as well. I think that he's doing that on purpose to make people think that Hangman can lose this match and Darby might show up and be the guy that beats him. I don't believe you, Mox. I think you're just doing that to add tension, but it's working. I think it's such a smart choice, because you shouldn't feel like Darby is completely out of the picture, even though I kind of feel like he is.
He better be.
But I just think that's such a great note to add to this. And I love that when Hangman called his bluff when he left, and he's like, what are you going to do? You going to take this match or no? And he did what he did before. The numbers game tried to come out. Yuta comes out. All the guys come out trying to be Hangman, and it did not work. He still stood there tall, like, nope, that ain't going to do it. Just to show you how well this is being executed at this point. At no point was I one of these guys that's been tweeting like, maybe we were wrong about the Death Riders.
No. Because
I do think that a lot of Death Rider stuff earlier this year wasn't good.
Yes.
The use of the Death Riders in this program has been fantastic, though.
Yes.
And I think two things can be true. I think you can acknowledge that the stuff earlier this year wasn't good, but the stuff with Hangman in particular has been very good. And I think that they work so well with him because he gives people hope. He gives people something to look forward to. People really believe he can win. And it's not like he's just going out there and they're doing the same segments every week where they come down with the numbers and beat him down. No, he's actually standing up to them on his own, like he said he would. The pop he got for that buckshot lariat on Marina, bro,
unbelievable.
Crazy.
I love just that angle of him doing that, of kind of calling Mox's bluff and being like, what's up? We can, like, one, you're going to take this match, and two, we can do it right now if you want to. And Mox being like, that's not really what time it is. Let me get my homeboys in here. I love the fact that for this whole build and post Hangman winning the Owen, he's been like, I don't need any help and I don't want any help. And so everybody that's helping him, it's not because he was like, please help me. They're doing it for the great of AEW. They're all following along to what Will Ospreay was saying of like, if we're going to get our company back, we have to have Hangman's back. And so for him to have the ops on his back and like have those people helping him also says so much about what Hangman is and who he represents. And so to set that up and Marina be there in the ring and him being like, Mox, you know how I get down. I didn't burn the man's childhood home. Like if you want to take it there, and if you don't think I will take it there, I'm going to show you how I'll take it there. And hitting the buckshot on Marina, who has been a thorn in Hangman's and everybody else's side for so much and needed a comeuppance. Perfect way to do it.
Marina has turned out to be one of my favorite members of the Death Riders throughout this entire thing. Even when the Death Rider segments weren't for me, I still thought that she was incredibly funny because every time she would be the one that's kicking stuff off, like looking around, like, what are y'all doing? Like, oh, I gotta throw a chair, I'll throw a chair. Like, y'all playing. Like, like she had been jumping up in everybody's face, not backing down to anybody. She picking fights with everybody, like, yo, what you gonna do? You gonna hit me? Do it. I'm great.
Every time she'd come in, they'd be standing around talking, and she's like, "No, I'm about to set it off. Like, it's done."
Yeah, she's been great.
Before we got to that buckshot, I forgot. Your homie John Moxley had a little line that got people into a frenzy. He said that he doesn't want to be considered the best in the world. What did he say? Because that's bitch shit or that's petty bitch shit?
Mm-hmm. I think it was a little double entendre because
what does that mean?
I think it was a double entendre. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little dig at Punk, but at the same time, that has been the thing to say. It's part of the tagline for this company. We're the best wrestler. He's and so his whole thing is being the antithesis of what this company is celebrating. So he's looking around like, oh, that's what y'all want to do? Just be the best wrestler here? I'm trying to be more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is the tagline. He's like, I don't want to be the best wrestler. I want to be the champion. I want to be better than all y'all, and I want to inspire y'all to try to beat me. Kind of this along the same lines of what Zack Sabre Jr. story of like, you guys are talking about the new flag carriers and the future of this company. Like, beat me for this belt and do it then.
And that's kind of the criticism of AEW for a lot of detractors, that it's just a bunch of guys over there that can have good matches, but they're not stars. They're not characters. And so for Mox, as this big, larger than life character as champion, he's been like, nah, I'm bigger than just a good wrestler. That's basic shit.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That was a great line.
Also a little jabby though.
I know it was a little spicy.
Because there's one fool that be saying he the best in the world, really. You know, it's all good.
It was a little spicy. Hey, he's been throwing some little jabs at him throughout this title run.
I love it.
I
love that energy, baby. Keep it up.
Yeah, I like it.
Now, but Mox's promos recently have been heat. I mean,
he's been cooking though. But that's what he does. He's great at that.
That's what he does.
Also, one of my favorite moments of the night is them trying to get him with the ball chant, and he's just looking around like,
yeah.
Fuck out of here.
I don't care about this. What?
You think I care about that?
I do not care about that. Mox looked like this is what I'm talking about, you guys. You guys are focused on fucking ball chants, and we're trying to do this for real.
Y'all be worried about the wrong stuff. And you think you're gonna take me off my game with that? Bro, I've been here. I've been to WrestleMania. I've been to All In. I've wrestled all of the guys you think are the best. I wrestled at the Dome. I've been champion all over the world. You think you gonna get me out of here with some ball chants?
I retired Brian Danielson. You think some fucking ball chants are gonna do it? No.
Yo, stop playing with me, bro. I will keep that belt in this bag over here. Stop playing with me, dog.
Hey, stop playing with him. No, y'all stop playing with him for real.
Y'all will never see this belt again. Quit playing with me.
Y'all better listen to Mox, man. Don't be playing with it. We need that belt out of there. But no, great segment leading into this match. We're gonna get into Mercedes and Tony talk, and I think it was maybe last week that I was asking. I was like, could that Mercedes and Tony main event All In? And I'm like, the heat that they have for this match, and thinking of the visual of Hangman taking that belt out of that fucking briefcase, like,
it's gonna be one of the biggest moments of the night, bro.
Yeah.
One of the biggest moments of the year.
They're gonna play this footage forever.
Yeah. But yeah, this build has been fantastic so far. Since Hangman has won Owen, this has been great television. I think it has helped him tremendously. I think it's helped the Death Riders angle, and I think a lot of the characters in that group have come off a lot better since then. Mox feels like even worse of an opponent as this big final boss now.
Mm-hmm.
And this Texas Deathmatch stipulation adds a lot to their match. I'm very curious how they're going to be able to differentiate this from their Revolution match, because that match was very good. But I would assume Mox is going to do more desperate things to win. He's not going to be the same Moxley that he was in that match. We're definitely going to see a lot of interference and run-ins.
And that match wasn't for the world championship. So there's a little bit more added stipulation, a little bit more added pressure. There's definitely going to be plunder, shenanigans, like the Death Rider shit's going to be on 10. But what happens to counteract it is going to play such an important role. The talk this week, like you were saying, Mox made the Darby reference.
Mhm.
Darby is kind of a shadow sitting in the distance that we're like, how's he going to play a role in any of this, if he does play a role at all, you know?
Yeah. Very
Like,
curious.
could he be one of the guys to help Hangman when all this plunder goes on? Like, there's a lot of questions to be answered.
Maybe. Listen, this is Texas. It's Hangman. He's our millennial cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to ride in there on a horse like he did for his first ever world championship match.
No
he
question.
has to. And
No
I know people like the new theme song. He coming there with that old theme song on a horse, buddy. That place is going to go crazy. It's going to pop big for him anyway. But Hangman on a horse with his old theme, bruh.
Out of here. Out of here. It's going to be, the energy in there is going to be crazy. One last time, Phil, because I think this is the last Grapsody before the show. Is there a chance in the world that Jon Moxley beats Hangman Adam Page next Saturday?
I think it's very slim. I just don't see how you book the last few weeks of television this way and don't put the belt on him.
You can't. I had to throw the hypothetical out there because there is a % chance, but you cannot. You absolutely cannot.
No, this guy has basically been everything you want him to be as a face of your brand. Opening a show, representing the company. He did like 2 or 3 interviews this week. The guy was in Variety the night of Double or Nothing when he won the Owen.
This is so crazy because I was on Ospreay was winning at Double or Nothing, and that would have not been the right decision. I think at this point, this is the right decision right here. Hangman Adam Page being in this position, about to win the world title, is exactly how it always should have been.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying throughout the entire build that we wanted better for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still very glad that he won. I think that was the right call. I mean, at this very moment, I still think the main event of Double or Nothing is match of the year. Yep. I think it's one of the best moments of the year. I think him winning the championship is going to end up catapulting him to another level.
This guy's out of here. He's already out of here.
Yeah.
He's out of here. I did like those Mox points of like, do you really want this though? But I was thinking like, as a heel, you don't have to do as much work as a babyface champion does. Like, you don't have to go and talk on shows as a heel. You don't have to go and do all the media like it takes to be a babyface world champion. So there's some cap in there, Moxley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, it's very pointed criticism of Hangman as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why it worked. All of the Mox stuff has been fantastic.
Yeah, it's layered.
Yeah, but yeah, we got Mercedes versus Mina as an opening match. Very good match. Mina turns up for Mercedes every time. They had that match in a dome earlier this year. That was great. Then they had the match at the New Japan Strong show, which was a triple threat. Also very good match. And this match also very good match. I love these kind of matches where they're not clean. All of the moves don't come out clean. They're a little bit messy. It feels like a fight. And I think that that's what really made this match feel unique.
Those feel like my favorite Mercedes matches in this run that she's having. The ones that like when it's over, her hair's all fucked up. It looks like it's a fight. She was scrambling. There's counters, there's punches, there's all these things. Like those are my favorite matches. Mina, I feel like I keep saying this every time she has a match. felt like another breakout performance. This was insane. The way that she was working in this match. Like you said, she's had a couple matches with Mercedes, so she's kind of figuring out what it takes to potentially beat her. And this was an effort of a lifetime. That sequence of forearm to the face, forearm to the back of the head, and then she kicked her on the side of the head.
Bro, that kick was crazy. She kicked her so hard. I was like, "Oh my god!" It looked like she was about to kick her wig off. I thought that wig was about to go flying.
I said, "Hold on a minute, Mina." I was like, Tajiri has came back. He is reincarnated because she destroyed Mercedes in this. But yeah, just those matches that feel like Mercedes is doing everything she can to get this person off of her, because Mina was just hovering her, trying to eat her lunch the whole time. But Mercedes having that, and it's funny because we talked a little bit about how the build up to this match has been, they don't really want Mercedes going toe to toe, bar for bar in a promo, because Tony's fucking on a different level than most people in the company, man or woman. So they've been having Mercedes just have these great matches, just go in there with these different opponents and do this. And the different matches that she's had and the variations that she's put on so many things in order to show Tony that I can do anything that you can do. I can do all that shit, every different style, and it's going to be a very hard day for you. And All In has been very great for Mercedes. She's added even more prestige to her reign.
Yeah, the match itself was very good. Yeah, very hard hitting at certain points. Like you said, Mina working the match of her life. When she slid under her and tripped her up. Again, all of it didn't look like clean and precise like you wanted, but it just looked like this is a fight. This is, you can feel the desperation over 3 matches where Mina's like, I have to beat you. And the plot point of her telling Tony, do not interfere. I want to beat her on my own. And Tony's sitting ringside like she is like in a coma, like Linda McMahon during during a WrestleMania build, where she's just sitting there the whole time, blank stare. Great stuff, because you could tell the difference in how this started. At the beginning, she still was doing all of the timeless Tony stuff, getting on commentary, getting all the humor off, telling all of the jokes and being all in character. This time, Tony is looking different because now Tony's taking her serious. It's not just like, nah, this is any other match. No, she's taking her absolutely serious.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that's a great point to make, because she's kind of playing off of Mercedes was doing with the steak earlier this feud, but she didn't eat the steak. She wasn't eating the thing. She was totally focused on the whole thing. And the beginning was Tony saying, you need to get serious about this. Like, you're focused on all these championships. You're focused, your head's in 20 different places. My head's in this championship right here. And what are you going to do to get it? And she's seeing that Mercedes has been in the ring fighting everybody, being like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, what are you going to do to counteract it? And so now Tony's like, all right, we're really locked into this. Like, there's a lot of prestige behind what this match is going to be. I need to get serious, and we have a big hill to climb. This hasn't been the greatest build, because I think the finish, Mercedes desperately winning and beating Mina, I think was a good move. But her just tricking Tony and just hitting her with the belt and running out of there, I didn't love it.
I didn't love that either, but I do love that she keeps narrowly escaping everybody. And I just love her heel work as a champion, because she always makes it feel like any of these women can beat her.
Yes.
And you definitely felt like not just by the end of this match, but all the way up to the build to this match, I was saying, I think Mina can win.
Yeah.
And so she made you believe all the way up to the finish that Mina could win. And so when she lost, it was like, oh, okay. But I said in the build to this match was going to tell me everything I think I need to know for this match at All In. And I think that I'm firmly in the camp that Tony is going to beat her, because it just feels like the story they're telling here is that Mercedes is still looking past her like, no, I'm just going to beat you. Your time is up. I'm going to add that belt to my collection, and you're just going to go and peace out. And
you're going to be another victim. I'm going to laugh at you and run away with your belt.
No, and Tony is taking this dead serious. Like, no, I'm not just gonna roll over and give you my belt. No, this ain't gonna be the easy cakewalk you think. This isn't gonna be all those other championship matches you had up to this point. I'm not like any of those other women.
This is amazing. I'm super excited about this. Mercedes, they, like I said, the buildup has kind of been a cherry on top. When this match gets to this match and these women are given time to go out there and cook, we're going to see something special.
Yeah, I don't think it's been a perfect build, but I do like the story that they've been telling. I think that the execution could have been better at times, but I do like the idea of these are two women that left WWE and they went in two distinctly different directions and ended up in the same place. And why their journey here was different, what they hope to get out of their post WWE career is different, and that's all going to play into the match.
I think you made a really good point and earlier, and something that's been funny on social media. People calling most women wrestlers that succeed, but Mercedes Hogan, or that she does whatever that she does. But exactly what you described earlier and how she's been doing all these matches. After she narrowly escapes a lot of these matches, and afterwards we feel even greater about her opponent. Like, she did this with Mina, she did this with Stat, she did this with Jamie, she did this with Athena. Like, it's never she goes in there and eats anybody alive and she smothers them and she squashes them. She hasn't squashed any of her opponents. Like, her opponents have looked great. They've almost beat her in a lot of these matches, and she narrowly escapes like a heel should. So I think she's done so much for not just herself, but for the women's division and so many women around wrestling.
She's been very giving in most of these matches. I mean, she gave Harley a pay-per-view caliber match this year. No, she's been very giving.
Saying that Harley should win. I'm like, you guys, okay, come on.
She's been very giving. Most of her opponents, they've come out of the other side looking better off. Willow has came out better off. I do think that they should have been doing more with Willow after that match to put her on TV, but that's not on Mercedes. I do think that program itself made Willow feel like a bigger star, and I think it's been the case with several of the matches. I mean, look what that match did for Jamie. If Jamie wasn't injured right now, she was on TV, I do think she would have a big match in the build for this show.
Me too. Yeah, I think that's been the funniest part, is like they blame Mercedes for but I'm like, no, it's what happens after the Mercedes stuff that's the issue, and that's not on Mercedes.
Yeah, and I mean, to your point about Statlander, I think there's a very good chance that Statlander could win the Battle Royal.
Yeah. She has a pretty high chance of that because she's being set up for something. They've been teasing this Death Rider stuff, her being involved with the Death Rider, so I totally could see her winning that match.
Yeah, and I do think her eventual world title win is going to be a big moment because it's been so long overdue. I mean, you could argue that it should have happened in 2019. I mean, she got injured twice. It's just been like a string of bad luck, but I wouldn't be mad if she won the Battle Royal and she ended up being the one to beat Tony.
Me too. I think she has the momentum, and she's a day one, so like people have been waiting for her to get a big victory.
But yeah, this build, I wish that they gave it some of the importance that some of the other big matches on this show have, but still very excited for this. When you think about Mercedes being in that crowd for the first All In, and now we're here in Texas, she's going to have a big match on this show. What this means, her coming in and probably the best run of her career to have this match with Tony. And I mean, I don't even think it's debatable that this is the best run of Tony's career.
Not a debate.
No. So it's very exciting that's where we're going with this. And I do think this match is going to deliver.
Yeah. The two biggest women stars in the company going head to head. We kept saying they needed to do a big match, and there was some controversy of people thinking some other people should have been in this match, but this is who should be in this.
Yeah. But I didn't believe at first, but I'm a firm believer that Tony is going to win. And I do think that part of the reason I think she's going to win is because Mercedes does not lose title matches. Like, and just the way Tony has been acting throughout this entire feud of like, nah, man, I'm being treated like the underdog. I'm not even supposed to be here. You were always going to get this kind of match. You were always going to get this stage to perform on because I do believe you're the greatest of all time. But I'm not supposed to be here. But that's also why I'm not just going to roll over and give you my belt.
Yeah. And I think Tony has been super giving also as a world champion, and the way that her character has been amazing, and she's been one of the best characters in the whole company. She deserves also a big win like this at a big show, like beyond the Mercedes stuff, too.
Yes. And yeah, I believe Twine, you're right. I believe Statlander won the Pro Wrestling Eve
she did
championship. So yeah, she is a champion. I was wondering what she was doing in the UK because I saw her taking a bunch of pictures with people in the UK.
Oh yeah, I was wondering where she was at.
But yeah, she did win the Pro Wrestling Eve World Championship. Great for her. And again, I'm ready for her to get the AEW Women's World Championship run. It's long overdue.
It's time.
Long overdue.
It's time.
But yeah, I thought that was a great way to start this show, to get two of the biggest matches that are going to be on All In Texas on the show, on a landmark episode, to start with the promo segment and get the women's match out the way. I think that was the right call. We also got the 4-way. The match itself was good. The 4-way for the second spot in the men's casino battle royal. I thought the match was good. Not a surprise with the guys that are in it: MJF, AR Fox, Brody King, and Anthony Bowens. Like you said earlier, Brody King got a great response. People love this guy. People want to see this guy win. They want to see him get big moments. MJF is still doing the opportunist thing, coming out with Hurt Syndicate. I thought the way he played the character stuff in this match was perfect. Him having the Hurt Syndicate guys surround him while he goofed off and talked on commentary, and it's basically that's why he's in this group, because let me get a bunch of guys around me. All these big guys, you're not going to just walk past them and walk up on me. I'm going to do what I want. And so, of course, he did minimum wrestling, which is always his heel character of like, you guys, you're trying to wrestle to win matches. I'm just going to come in and steal it at the end, which was perfect. I thought the ending of the match was great. I thought that was a great move for him, and that's obviously gonna make him a favorite to win. I think there's a chance he could lose, though.
I think him coming in at that spot increased the chances of him losing for me, because immediately I was like, I think Max is gonna win this. I've probably said it on the pod, but I think him coming in that position and how they're building it up is the reason that he's not gonna win this. So interesting stuff. Max's whole MO has been trying to surround himself with giant fools that could stop people from getting to him. So him being with the Hurt Syndicate makes a lot of sense. AR Fox,
bro, he's becoming undeniable, bro. Like he's so fun to watch. We already knew that, but the AEW fan base really likes this guy. They want to see him in these spots. They want to see him on TV more. And the more and more the audience responds to him this way, the more and more I see him get like the reception he's getting online and seeing like the clips of him everywhere. I'm like, yeah, you got to get to it. You got to keep putting him in the matches. What you're doing with Hologram and giving him the showcase matches, you got to give AR Fox that, man.
You see the vision, Phil. You see the vision. I feel like AR Fox is starting to fall right into that Brody King category of you keep putting him in the big matches and he keeps destroying it. He keeps having these great showings. Eventually, you got to get him a big win. And I think AR Fox has been building so much fanfare. Each match, AEW fans grow even fonder of him. Got to give him a big win.
Yeah. He's so great. That inverted 450 that he does, like, bro, I don't know how it's humanly possible for him to do that, but bro,
there's not a lot of
so good,
high spots that are scary to me, but like backwards stuff always is like, you just never know what could happen. And he does that. And it's like, this could be not that great, but you make it look amazing every time. The way that he transitions and puts his moves together is unreal, unbelievable. I'm so happy that they continue to put him in positions. We talked a little bit on Ask Grapsody about Anthony Bowens, and I felt bad when he came out because no one reacted, like not a single person.
I was surprised how many people were worried about Max Caster if you split these guys up, because I was always of the opinion that he would be fine because he can talk. And a guy that can talk can always promote themselves. They can always get over with a crowd
every time.
And as bad as this open challenge thing he was doing seemed initially, it's getting over. People like it. And I think people want to like him. And so I knew it was going to be fine. Bowen, I knew that he was the better worker of the two. He's the better wrestler. And that's why I kept saying, you can't keep waiting. The longer he stays around in this Acclaim thing, the longer he continues to do the scissoring and staying next to Billy Gunn, it's harming him. I think you've got to get him off on his own, and you got to give him his own character. And I think you're seeing the results of it. I think that's why the reactions to him are so tepid, because I think that the split should have happened a long time ago. And you should
still
done,
acclaimed, not a stench, but they're still acclaimed on him.
Yeah, I think they took too long to get him away from Billy. I think when he went out on his own, he shouldn't have been still coming out with Billy. And I just think that they should have. I really think it should have happened before the Continental Classic. I think he should have been in the Continental Classic last year.
You bring up a fucking hilarious point, and it's something that's so weird to me. They want to like Max Caster, and like everything that like online, like he tries so hard to be a heel, and he tries so hard to get the fans to boo him. But this whole thing is flipped upside down, where people are cheering now, and like they want, like exactly like you're saying, these fans want to like Max Caster, no matter how much of a prick he tries to be, or no matter how much he does. There's just something about him that fans are attached to. And Anthony Bowens, a couple of people have brought it up. So one person said he has too many catchphrases, and I was like, that's one thing. Like, it's too much. Like, he has like the new entrance and the new gear, and then when he comes out for the entrance, he has to go to that side every time, and to go, like, it's like so contrived. And like, maybe you just need to strip all that down and just get back to basics, because Anthony Bowens is a great wrestler and we want to get behind him, but there's another connection that you need to make post the Acclaim and whatever this new thing is that you didn't make.
People want to like people that have an edge to them that are not likable people. It's especially in wrestling. When you think of like some of the most popular wrestlers, some of the guys that stay over, that stay popular, we always hear about how problematic they are. There's something about them that we're not supposed to like, but I think that adds to the confidence in how they perform. And I think that's what Max has. Max has this side to him that you shouldn't want to like. And I do think a lot of what he does is corny, but I think he's so confident that it'll work.
He's so confident. That's a huge. That's everything is the confidence.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I think the more he kept coming out there, when he first started doing the open challenge, I was like, oh, I don't know, bro. And the more and more he's doing it, I'm like, the crowd is reacting to it though.
Yeah, like big time. Like they're doing his chat and everything. Like they're all in on whatever this is.
Yeah, and I think he understands to just putting him out there to get beat up. It hits because people want to see him get beat up.
It does.
And man, it's working. I think everything he's doing is working. And I think part of the reason what Bowens is doing is not working is because I don't want to say he's too likable, but there's no hook.
There's no hook.
There's no hook yet. And he's got to find that. I think he's a tremendous wrestler. I think he's an underrated talker, but I just don't think that he's found that hook yet.
I think like because he has the pride of AEW thing, like he's trying to go with that angle. And online, I think a lot of stuff he does if you follow him online and you follow his career, you understand and you're probably in. But if you don't, like the TV presented Anthony Bowens doesn't give off everything that social media Anthony Bowens needs, and maybe he needs to combine those things together. Because like you're a gay man, and we know the Harley thing, and people probably don't even know what the pride of AEW means. I think you know what I mean. Like there's a whole sect of fans that doesn't mean anything to them, and maybe you need to connect those dots a little bit more on TV.
Yeah, I just think he needs to do more to develop as a character. I think that's the problem. I think that Max has had the time to develop, and he's had the TV time to get this open challenge and everything he's doing over.
And Max's open challenges are 5 minutes. Like he takes 5 minutes and maximizes, brother.
Yes. Yeah.
All I need is 5 and I'm gonna get over. That's crazy. That's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really enjoyed this match. I think the finish was perfect for Max and his character. The reason I groaned before it, because the segments they keep doing, these interconnected segments where Max starts it off and he has his one-on-one with somebody, and then you have to connect the tag team segment afterwards. It just goes on and on and on. It's too
long, dude. It's a marathon.
It's too long, and then it's clunky. I just don't think that it works. I think if you split it up and you have it at different spots in the night, it works, but it's just too much in one segment.
And they've done it like 3 weeks in a row, it feels like, and it doesn't feel like it's super accomplishing the thing that needs to. Like Mark Briscoe came out and felt like he did the exact same thing last week, and then he just announced that he's going to be in a match next week. It's like, you guys could have, or in a promo segment next week, I'm like, you guys could have just announced this. You didn't need to connect these bars. And so it seems long because it's just a beatdown segment and then some talking and then more beatdown segment and some talking and more beatdown. I liked what it ended up being. Like Jet Speed they get beat up, and then Kevin Knight gets on the mic and he's like, y'all hit like a bitch, come back, we're not going to take them. Him and Mike slowly get back up, get beat up again, do it over and over to show them that they'll take everything that the Hurt Syndicate has and to win those championships. But it's just so long, Phil.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark is trying to get over the pickle thing now. Coming out with the pickle shirt. I thought that sign with Max as a pickle on it was hilarious, though. That was really funny. But yeah, he's trying to get this pickle thing over. He's wearing a shirt. I didn't care about any of that. And then just their back and forth went on too long. And then once their back and forth was over, you thought the segment was over. Then Jet Speed came out. Got to keep this going with Hurt Syndicate. And I will give Jet Speed credit, because when it initially started, I was like, oh, here we go.
It's happening again.
It's another beatdown segment. And I think the way that they executed it, it worked, because Jet Speed they wouldn't go. They were like, nope, that ain't gonna do it. And man, what a great line! What a great line from Kevin Knight at the end of it. You must have learned to hit from your mother because you hit like a bitch. Great line, great reference to the WWE stuff with Shelton. Love that. And we're getting Shelton versus Kevin Knight tonight on Collision 100. That should be fire.
Something has happened, Philip Lindsey. Since Dynamite, there have been rumors and innuendo that they're going to add Christian and Nick Wayne to this title match. So the match tonight is Shelton Benjamin versus Kevin Knight versus Nick Wayne. So people are like, what? Because Nick Wayne and Christian haven't been involved in this angle at all. 0%. They haven't said anything to anybody. They've been talking about becoming tag team champions, but they haven't been involved with this stuff. They did do an angle on Collision where Christian and Nick Wayne and the Patriarchy were talking, and MVP pulled up on him and he was like, I heard you guys want a title shot. It's not going to be good for you. So they have planted seeds for it. It's just an interesting choice that they're going that way.
I did not hear that. I don't know what that means.
Me neither. I mean, my brain says they need somebody in there so the Hurt Syndicate don't get pinned, but
Yeah, God dang. Called him Nick Wayne. They call me Nick Wayne. They call me Nick Wayne. I'm Nick Wayne. It's so funny that that's his actual theme song. That's the actual word.
Those are the bars. Shout out to JPEG Mafia. I'm Nick Wayne.
I'm Nick Wayne.
What should I do for this song? I don't know. Just say what his name is.
We got the piano. Doom, doo, doo, doom, doo, doo, doom, doom. I got it. I got it. They call him Nick Wayne. They call him Nick Wayne. That's Nick Wayne.
So you're saying he heard the sample for 6 seconds. He heard the piano chords. I got it. Run the mic. That's Nick Wayne.
Bro, every time it came on during the Best of Super Juniors, I just started dying laughing. I was like, I just cannot believe that that's his theme song. and it be hidden, bro. I'm not saying this to be like it's trash. It be kind of hidden.
That's Nick Wayne. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know. But yeah, they're seemingly going to be added to this match. I don't know what that means. So, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you got to get to the breakup angle with them because it's approaching that territory where they keep teasing it, and I'm just like, okay, get to it at this point. We've been teasing this for months.
Christian, listen, brother. Listen up and listen good. We're here for one thing. I know what you think you're doing with Nick Wayne. He don't need this. Your brother, dude. We want to see this. That's all we want to see here is you and your brother wrestling together as a team. I know you're not interested in it, but that's what this is.
Do we get Copeland at All In?
Well, I don't know where he's been, so
does Copeland interfere here? Is that how the Hurt Syndicate win? Yeah, that seems like that's where we're going. I didn't think about that till just now.
Wow, Philip Lindsey, look at that.
Yeah, Copeland gets the big entrance in Globe Life,
and he comes to save Christian from the fucking Hurt Syndicate.
Maybe. Yeah, but yeah, just turn Nick Wayne at this point, and you don't really need to turn him because he's already healed. But just get him away from Christian. And the joke that I just made about his theme song, you could do the funniest thing in the world now.
What?
No, you're not gonna do the Nick Wayne. At last, you're on your own.
Listen, it's written in the stars, man. Philip Lindsey is spitting out here today.
Do it. Change his theme song to exactly that for a week. That would be fucking hilarious.
That shit would be so funny. Nick Wayne.
Exactly the same way. The guitar riff and everything.
Oh man, come on! But no, Nick.
Bro,
Wayne, we could do something with Nick Wayne. He has somewhere to be, dude.
Yeah, the raining pyro and everything. Do it.
Same thing. Let's have it rain down gold on him. Come on, we're killing.
Oh, that would be hilarious, bro.
But yeah, I think Nick Wayne, especially coming off the Best of Super Juniors, they did not capitalize like they should. Having him stuck over with Christian is not the right move.
Yeah, and I thought he had a good run in the Best of Super Juniors. So yeah. But I did not know that they were adding Nick Wayne to this match.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So it's probably gonna be a triple threat match. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. It's a way to get Christian on the show and probably get a big Copeland pop. So I don't hate it.
And if it gets the belt off the Hurt Syndicate, all right, I'm into it.
I don't think it's going to. I do think Hurt Syndicate is going to retain.
It's not going to. They're going to smash those guys.
Yes, they are.
Into pieces.
Yes. I'm curious if we're going to get to this tag team run by All Out.
Me too. It's in Toronto.
Yeah.
So that's the time to do it, brothers.
There are times. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we got the Young Bucks segments that were going throughout the night that led to this heroes and villains triple trios match. The trios match was fire. I mean, this is again, when you give these guys this kind of spot and you let them wrestle, this is what the Bucks do. I've seen people over the last year saying, well, y'all didn't like what the Bucks were doing. No, this is not what they were doing. This is
not what they were doing.
This is what me and Reg were coming on here saying, like, dog, just do what you guys do best. Just wrestle, bro. We just want to see y'all wrestle. And man, since they've been back, all these multi-man matches they've been in, they've been killing it. And that's not a surprise. This is what they do.
This is why we were yelling on the show, because we know that they were capable of doing this. Like, this was in California. This was a PWG match. No one's surprised. Like, all the elements were there. The Young Bucks are in their hometown. Everybody's excited. They're cooking. Like, they're going 1,000 miles per hour. Like, this was everything that I would hope for in this match. The Bucks are. People are like, they're considered for tag team of the year. I'm like, yes, they're
a great tag team. I don't think that translated well during that tag title run.
That's it.
But
I said, I'm #1 Young Bucks fan, and I hated that shit.
Yeah, it's because they weren't having these kind of matches during that time period. And I think that's also what helped Elite when they came back, because they were doing this. Mm-hmm. Man, go figure. Just taking Okada out of the spot and adding Takeshita in, it's gonna work. Go figure.
They worked well together. Seeing the Bucks and Bandito in a match together for the first time since the original All Out, unreal. Like, Bandito is, I can't put into words what this guy is.
I don't know that I can call him a breakout star, because he's been doing this.
Yes.
But he's been incredible this year. Like, his matches have been hitting. It feels like he as a character has gotten over so well. All of those small things he does in a match, like him doing that the stare off and draw thing he did with Brian Keefe, the way that got over, that's because this guy is tremendous. He did that taunt in this match that was it's just because it's him, bro. Like him when he was in that when he was at a press conference with Tony, and bro, you've got a marketable guy in this. This guy should be the face of Ring of Honor. If you're gonna make Ring of Honor its thing, this is a guy. You got it. He's right there.
They've been American pro television wrestling has been historically searching for a Mexican wrestling star post Rey Mysterio Jr. This guy has that. That's it. That's all.
He's fantastic, man. And I mean, like I said, I can't say breakout year, because he's been doing this. He's been doing this all over the country. He was doing this in TNA. He was doing this in the original Ring of Honor for a minute. He's incredible.
Every time he hits that top rope moonsault fall away slam, and he did it on Takeshita, who's a big fucking dude, like, I hope they understand what they have with this guy, because this guy is on a different level. And all the shit with the Young Bucks in this match, I'm like, okay, let's do you and somebody versus the Young Bucks, because this is amazing.
Incredible. All the tandem offense between the Bucks and Takeshita, incredible.
When they knocked Kyle out, the super kick, Takeshita forearm, I was like, oh my god, incredible.
To nobody's surprise as well, Roddy and Kyle are great together. They had a great tag run in NXT. You already knew that when you put them in these kind of matches where they're so good, and
they are unbelievable.
They're so good. I feel like they're two guys. When people are like, what are the tag teams? I'm like, dog, you got those two guys just hanging around. They can be tag champions. They can have a run of tag matches. Though they're so good. I mean, even if you wanted to do something else with the trios belts, those guys are right there. They're so good.
Dog, Roddy and Kyle could be tag team champions right now and start having matches on a weekly basis, and it's over. Like, these guys are fucking talented. They're like so good they're underrated. That's how good both these
They
guys
are.
My brain can't even comprehend it.
They are. At one point, when they were still with NXT, and Bobby got injured, and they had to put Roddy in for him. And you always saw some of the hot takes on Twitter and social media, people saying, I don't know, these two might be better than Red Dragon. Red Dragon might be overrated. And for a long time, I was like, man, this is Red Dragon. This is ROH. This is like, we know what those guys can do. The more and more I see these two wrestle together, bro, they're really good together, man.
Somebody posted a clip of Roderick Strong from like 2004. And it's like, this guy has been at the highest level for like 20 plus years. And he's been just consistently being a great wrestler. And every time it's on display, I can't believe it. When Roddy starts going 100,000 miles per hour and he starts to hitting his kicks and forearms on everybody, Roddy is on a different level. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's special. He's great.
Both those guys. Put the belts on him.
Yeah. Every time people are like, do we need Undisputed Era? Should we have these three together? I'm like, these three are very good, man. Like, I don't know that you need to overcomplicate this. They're three very good wrestlers.
The three of them, people just forget all the time. Like, people forget, they bring up like the Adam Cole Joker shit, but then like you see him and then you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. Adam Cole's incredible. He was the top of the food chain at NXT for a reason. And then you see these guys do this and you're like, oh my God, this is insane. Every time I think about the end of their NXT run, I think of those matches that Kyle had with Finn. And I was like, this guy is what you mean?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I don't think that Cole is a boring character. I just think that he's infinitely better as a heel.
Yes, that's it. As easy as that.
I just think he's so much cooler as a heel. Just across the board.
They should just make all three of them heels because Kyle and Roddy play better. Maybe not better, but they play great as heels too. Because I think Kyle's such a great baby face, man. It's hard to when he gets locked into Kyle mode, like this guy is different.
And me saying that, it's hard to argue making this guy a heel because he comes out there and he does his entrance. He's still getting massive pops.
I've been seeing that clip of him and that kid all look like you can't. You want to stop the boom? Nah, I don't know if you want to stop the boom.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, maybe like Phil said, trios belts. Like, because I feel like somebody's gonna take that belt from Adam Cole pretty soon. So that could be the next move for them.
Yeah. But yeah, this match was a lot of fun. We got a device effect segment afterwards. I enjoyed it, and I like the stakes. I saw people's criticism of it, but it didn't really bother me. So we got the stakes last week. Swerve and Will want the Young Bucks to put their EVP status on the line at All In Texas.
Right.
They didn't agree to it, and so Ospreay comes out and says, all right, well, let's sweeten the wager. If we lose, we cannot challenge for the world title for a year. Now, the year part was very funny to me because I was like, oh yeah, they learned their lesson with that Cody thing.
They definitely learned their lesson.
They were like, let's not do that again.
Put a time limit on this so we don't have to fucking ruin our whole lives with this.
Yeah. So, and I love that Swerve immediately was like, what are you doing? I didn't agree to that. And he was mad. And he should be mad because no, what do you mean? No. I didn't get into it for this. But I do like the way they played it. I do think it was executed well. Some people did not like Swerve's reaction and they didn't like what he said in the promo, but I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine for what they were going for.
I'm on the fence because I just hate that stipulation in general.
Yeah.
When Cody did it, I fucking hated it. Now of like two guys that I want to consistently be in the world title picture and have title matches and potentially win the belt are both going to be out of the runnings for a year. I don't know. But then like on the watch along, I was immediately thinking, I'm like, well, one, they are going to have a big unification title match in this show with Omega and Okada, and you're going to need contenders for that. And these two guys can be contenders over there. Hangman Page having a 6 to 7 to 8 month run and somebody beating him for 5 more months. That's not the craziest thing in the world. And these guys not being involved in that. But then immediately I was like, well, Hangman Page is going to be the champion and Swerve is going to have nothing to do with it. That's stupid.
I don't think it hurts either of them to stay away from Hangman for a while.
Yeah. Also still,
I think my gripe with it is that it kind of makes the outcome predictable.
That's what I thought. Man.
Because this kind of tells me that the Bucks are losing.
Yeah. Yes. Well, they totally should, and they definitely, that should be the outcome. But that's what immediately sprung to mind. I was like, I understand adding stakes and people like that, but now you're just telling me that that Ospreay and Swerve are going to beat him.
Yeah. I hope.
They have done this before.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I mean, yeah, there's other ways to look at it. I can see people looking at this and saying, all right, well, they're doing that because now they can be a tag team and make a run at the tag titles if they're not in the world title picture, which I personally wouldn't want. Nope. But I do think that that's a way to look at it. I personally think that the Bucks have squeezed as much juice out of this EVP thing as possible, and I think it's time for them to do something else.
That's the only super important part of that for me is like it they could do the all the things that I said and have them challenge for other championships, but like the other side is the Bucks need to stop with this.
They need a change.
That's it. That's all. This match needs to end with them not being EVPs anymore. I don't care what the other stipulation is. That's all the importance in this match to me.
Yeah, and I think at least the stakes gives more reasons for Swerve to be in this match because really he should be done with them. Once he won Anarchy in the Arena and he led Team AEW to a win. No, I'm done. I got my revenge after you guys cost me the match of Dynasty, and I've proven once again that I can lead this company better than you because for 2 years in a row I've led the team to win. I'm done with you guys. I have nothing else to prove. And that's even more reason why I can see him being mad. Like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. I just thought we was going to have a match with these guys. Like, you're talking about screwing up my possibilities of being world champion and screwing up everything I've worked to get to. No.
Like, you didn't know what my plans are and you just came in making this an interesting, but it also tells a good story with Swerve and Ospreay moving forward. So I understand it. I didn't care about none of these stipulations, Phil. They could have just announced the match and I would have been like, let's fucking go. But I do get why people would like these additions.
Yes.
Or hate these additions.
Yeah. Out of this, we got the second Heroes and Villains match of the night. They were using the Superman theme for both of these matches, which I mean, great cross-promotional stuff with Warner Brothers. They did that commercial that people were upset about. Well, let me be specific. Brian Alvarez was not happy about this commercial. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why is Kenny wearing a cape, man? He couldn't do this later.
Didn't we talk on this podcast, Phil, about Kenny Omega and how of a fucking massive dork he is? Like, I think the dorkiest top guy, number one wrestler of all time is far and away Kenny Omega. No one should be surprised that he's wearing a fucking cape on a Superman thing.
Well, you know what I mean? I think his larger point was that we hadn't seen Kenny for weeks. They were trying to put over the injury and him being away. And then the first time we see him is not the end of the show. It's in this commercial, but it's a commercial. It didn't really take me out of it because first of all, I was of the assumption, all right, this had to have been filmed.
It's beforehand. An old commercial. Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Then, like I said, the commercial.
And we know Kenny's going to be here. He's going to be at All In. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the craziest thing in the world.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. But yeah, just the cape over his blazer is just such a Kenny thing to do. I thought that was funny. I thought it was a good commercial. I liked it.
Me too. I like the cross promotion when they do these things because they should.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, but it made it even funnier when I saw that clip today that Brian was mad about it because I just thought it was funny. And I saw people that were mad at Brian, but I was like, I just think all of this is really funny.
Yeah, why are you mad at Brian?
I mean, it's his criticism. I don't agree with it, but I just think it's all silly. I think it's all silly wrestling stuff.
And it's talking about Kenny Omega in a cape. Like, come on, you guys.
Why you got
I'm gonna be mad about this?
Why do you have this guy that's going to be in this big match in the most violent angle we've seen in some time with this company and this cape looking goofy? And I was like, yeah, this is a very Kenny Omega thing to do, though.
This makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. But yeah, we got the Heroes and Villains tag match. Swerve and Ospreay took on the team of Dralistico and Beast Mortos. This match hit. If this is a preview of what we're getting at All In Texas out of these two guys, the synergy that they have together, the way that they use their finishers together, incredible. That Styles clash into the house call, fire, bro. I cannot wait for this match now. Just based off of their offense in this match, cannot wait for this.
If this is a preview, my body is not ready, you guys. Like, I was thinking, like, I'm not gonna make it in this show. Like, that match is gonna I'm dead after that match. If this is a preview for what Swerve and Ospreay are gonna do with the fucking Young Bucks, they're gonna light that place on fire, you guys. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to scream my head. I'm going to have no voice for any of the other matches because I'm dead. So I hope that's late in the show because this is going to be crazy. Dralistico and Beast Mortos came with some shit and nobody's surprised. Dralistico was going insane. He has some very hard strikes. Beast Mortos is Beast Mortos. The things that he does are incredible. His bumps are insane. His selling's great. His offense is crazy, but the way that Swerve and Ospreay were combining their things, hidden blades and the Swerve stomp and the Os cutters and all these things are like, we're about to cook and we're about to cook something crazy. This was PWG match number 2 because this was absolutely insane. So many things in so little time.
Yeah, I think that's really where this show excelled. Because it's not a go-home show, but they did such a great job of promoting the pay-per-view. And with just the 2 matches, the trios match and this match, they gave us such a good snapshot of what this big tag match could look like. Because, I mean, like I said, the segment with the stakes, that was divisive. But I was like, nah, based on those 2 matches, though, this is going to hit.
Young Bucks look in prime form somehow still, and they're about to go into this match like that. My body ain't ready. I can't. I'm gonna be like, what the? This is crazy. It's about to be nuts.
Yeah, Dralistico was fantastic here, but yeah, that Styles Clash house call combo they did like a Stormbreaker, Swerve Stomp combo as well. That was hard. Like
they was turning up.
That was incredible. But they also like sold throughout the match that they were not on the same page because of the whole stipulation and everything. And I thought that was the right way to play this. Excited for this match, though. Very excited for this.
To say the least. The stakes are going to be something, but this match is going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah. The main event, I did not know what to expect. There were some accusations on my man Kota Ibushi that he might be washed, and he looked he looked pretty bad at certain points a few years ago because he was injured. I don't think it was just that he's not good anymore. He just had a bunch of injuries, and you could see it. He needed the time off. He needed to get back in shape. He looks like he's in much better shape now. He's moving better, and we saw that in the Trent match. And so I was like, all right, what are we going to get out of this match? This is a Wrestle Kingdom 14 rematch. These guys have also wrestled in the G1. I think they had my mind Kota fucked up, bro. It's not just, I'm just telling you, though. He might have had Kota fucked up a little bit because Kota came out to the work. he looked great.
These guys wrestled in the Dome, Philip Lindsey, the fucking Dome, brother. And we're watching them on Wednesday night. Yes, the Trent match, the question that I had with Ibushi coming back is he still insane? The Trent match showed me, yes, confirmed.
Yes. He was still doing crazy neck bumps.
Still insane. Still crazy as hell.
Yes.
So coming into this Okada match, I was like, okay, that gives me some hope with this match. Wow. Like I was saying earlier about Tanahashi and Ibushi, he's not 1,000 miles per hour, gonna do 20 flips in a match, gonna be doing these crazy high spots. Now he's older guy Ibushi who's gonna try to knock your fucking head off, who's gonna try to drop you on your head, who's gonna try to just stay on the ground but hit you with some kind of crazy thing to end the match. And at one point, he hit Okada with a lariat in he hit him in the neck, in the jaw, the head, and I was like, I think this match is over. I always every single time think back to when Nakamura was on the Talk is Jericho podcast and he's describing his Wrestle Kingdom match with Ibushi, and he goes, Chris, I didn't know if we were like in a real fight. He's like, I don't know if Ibushi knows if this is like, he's like, he was really in there beating me up. And I'm like, when Ibushi gets to that point, he started punching Okada, and I was like, oh, he's doing it. He doesn't care. I'm like, oh, this guy's still absolutely insane. So when they got to a top rope Tiger Driver, I was like, oh, we're doing it, Phil. We're back. We're back.
Top rope Tiger Driver.
We're back.
I knew we were officially back when he was in the corner and Okada just tried to hit him, and he did that Avatar state thing he goes into where he stops selling anything, and then he just gets up and just starts like hitting you with these crazy strikes. And so when that happened, I was like, oh no, he's back.
We back.
He's back. Bro, when he does that and he gets into whatever this demon mode he gets into, it just starts like beating down on his opponent, bro. I think that's when he started throwing those heavy shots to that Larry you're talking about. I was like, dude, I don't. Is Okada okay? And in prime Okada fashion, when he started that, he came back and he did this genius, bro. He tried to get him up for the Kamagoye, and so he locked his wrist. And Okada grabbed the rope so he couldn't get him into the move. And while he was distracted with the ref, he came straight off the rope, hit him with that lariat. I was like, bro, this is why Okada. This is why Okada's Okada. Immediately capitalized, hit him with this pinpoint drop kick, ended the match in a heartbeat with the Rainmaker. I was like, yo, Okada is still a god level wrestler, bro.
Every time the drop kick comes that late in the match, Phil, and I'm like, this guy got like a drop kick is almost his signature move, just a standing drop kick. That's usually a fucking prelude into the Rainmaker. The drop kick that he hit, I think maybe the homie Ryan Loco, one of the AEW photographers, posted a picture of the drop kick, and it's all in Ibushi's face, like both feet. Directly, like it's the most perfect drop kick you could ever hit.
Precise. He does this, and he's done this several times throughout this AEW run, where it looks like he's in trouble. He'll make one crafty decision and counter you, and that's it. You've lost before you realize the match is over. It's over, and that's what he did here. When he came off that rope and hit him with the lariat, it was over. That was him making that one chest move. Like, yep, you don't know it, but 2 moves later, it's over. You're done. you are done. And so when he hit that drop kick and hit the Rainmaker right afterwards, I was like, this guy, man, Kenny's gonna have a hard day at the office against this guy in a week. This guy is still incredible.
Exactly what I was thinking while watching the match was, damn, Kenny's been having some tough time, but this guy Okada, he don't care about nothing. Like he's the most I don't give a fuck wrestler I think that exists. And he's like, cool, you were out for a long time, don't care. Cool, you think you're gonna win this new championship, don't care. You sent your friend Ibushi to try to beat me, I don't care.
That has been this guy's entire career. He'll just do something out of nowhere, and then it's like, wait a minute, he won.
He won.
I mean, the greatest moment of one of the greatest moments of his career, the thing that put him on the map, the Rainmaker shock is just like, well, wait, he won. And so, and he's done that a few times where it looks like somebody's got him on the ropes, and he's like,
I'm telling you, dog. After that Ibushi lariat, I was like, no, I think Ibushi got him. This is it, and he didn't have him. He didn't have him.
Yeah, Don was very funny. Somebody already put it in the chat before I could say it. Don was very funny on commentary when he was like, yeah, you could smell the diverticulitis coming out of his throat.
Wild line. Wild line. I was like, my guy Don is tripping, dog.
You can smell the diverticulitis coming off of Omega. What a crazy line.
We've crossed the line. But yeah, this is heavyweight Japanese wrestling on display. That's exactly what this is. Like a fucking dome style match with two of the best Japanese wrestlers ever on a fucking Wednesday night, and they tore it up. Their high spots were high spots, brother.
Yeah. It's also just wild because like we've been talking about, AEW has been around 6 years. And when I think 2017, all of the Kenny Omega lore, all of the Kenny Omega friend circle that played out on BTE and all these other places, the BTE episode of him showing up to the hotel room with Kota Ibushi and like all of this stuff between him and the Bucks that built up to the Okada match. All of these guys are in the same company now.
They're all here.
They're
we
all
watched
here
them on this show, on this Dynamite. They're all on this Dynamite.
They're all here. And so just thinking about the idea of, I would not have guessed 6-7 years ago that the main event of a American promotion would be Kota Ibushi, Kazuchika Okada.
The main event of their 300th show is going to be those two guys on Wednesday. I'd be like, no, it's not. You're lying. Leave me alone.
Would have never guessed that. And it hit all of the right emotional notes. When they were beating Kota down and Kenny Omega's music hit, I continue to say Battle Cry is his best theme song. I don't care. Fight me. His music hit and he came running down. That pop for him. Dog, we're here, buddy. I've told people it doesn't matter what else is on this card. I booked a flight for this match. Just this match. All the rest is icing on the cake. Though I'm here for this match. This is it.
We've pretty much talked about since AEW's inception and on this podcast what this match is and the importance of this match. Like Phil has consistently been like, when they announced that match, I'm there. And as soon as they announced that match, he was there. And so this means a lot. I'm on your side on Battle Cry. Like the new theme, I know it's important. I know how you got it, but Battle Cry means it's fucking lit. And it felt like that on Wednesday. And it felt like that seeing him back. The clip of the show's off the air and Ibushi takes a bump full on his neck onto a chair just in the ring.
Madman.
Why?
Guy is out of his mind.
Great stuff, though. People are like, oh, announce a Golden Lovers match for next week. I'm like, y'all, whoa. That'd be crazy.
Buddy, listen. I still to this day think Golden Lovers, Young Bucks is one of the greatest tag team matches of all time. I know that Will thinks it's Omega and Hangman versus the Bucks, but Golden Lovers, Young Bucks it's special. It's on a different level.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. The build up for like the big matches and All In are like,
yeah. I've been saying this build feels special. And I think it feels so special because it feels like AEW is in such a great place creatively. All of the matches that are supposed to feel big. I think that they could have done more with the build for Tony Mercedes, but it still feels like a big match.
Yep.
And I mean, there's so much else on this card. Like, of course, I am hyping Omega and Okada up to the moon because it's a match that I've wanted to see in person for at least 8 years, probably longer. And so, yeah, of course, like that's the match that I'm flying out for. But like when you look at this card from top to bottom, there's so many great matches here. I'm just excited for the women's Casino Battle Royal because I just want to see, you know, the women that are going to take part in it. I think there's so many women that could use this stage. And so many women I want to see succeed in this company, and I don't think that they've always had the opportunity to do so.
No, they just need to be giving more opportunities like the men. And this is how you do it. Like we've always been saying when they did the men's casino battle royal that they should do a women's one. And so to see this and see all the talented women that we perceive to be involved, like there's a big match tonight on Collision. And like if those 8 women are involved, that's 8 heavy hitters. Like we don't need no surprise, need nothing. Just let these 8 women go at it and we're gonna have some fireworks. So that match is going to be insane. The buildup for this has been crazy. This is going to pay off a lot of things. It's a huge show in America. Like everything you're saying, Phil, about Okada and Omega, it's going to be in America. Like I could have never even is that going to happen in America? I'd be like, no, probably not. Like where would it happen? But now they have a place for it to happen.
So exciting. Yeah. I mean, I also think there's something to where this show is situated in a year that you had so many big moments for AEW. It's really felt like a celebration of what this company has meant for the past 6 years, because you had the 6-year anniversary of Double or Nothing and ending it with Hangman winning. That was a big moment for longtime fans. And then you had Grand Slam Mexico, and then you had the 300th episode. You had so many things in the build up to this show that felt like a big deal. It didn't feel like, all right, here's some weekly television. It almost felt like every week was like a big event almost.
They did those 2 weeks back to back where they did 4-hour shows. Like there was a lot going on to the build up for this. And you said earlier that this wasn't the go home show, but it felt like a go home show. This time.
Did.
Like, we got another one to go before the show even happened.
It did. It made me excited to see what could you possibly do next week to add more interest to this pay-per-view. I'm already sold. Like
I'm super sold, dog. Y'all don't need to do nothing. Just tell me when to show up. What time? You already told me to show up. I'm good.
We will be there. We still haven't figured out what are we doing. Are we doing a Friday episode? Are we doing a Sunday episode? What are you doing? I don't know.
Saturday night episode, maybe I was thinking, because the show's in the daytime.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We'll get back to you guys.
I could be drunk after the show. I don't know anything. Being drunk and hot is just not the greatest, but
nah, that sounds miserable.
Sounds horrible. But yeah, should be interesting. We're flying out here pretty soon to see this show. Like, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
Let's get into some super chats and we'll move forward. A single blue note. The Panda said the 8-woman tag match on Collision was fun to see in person with all their entrances, especially the interactions between Athena and Thunder Rosa. Yeah, Phil, Athena in this match in Texas, this casino battle royal, just that right there.
Yeah,
got me.
Yeah,
like that's enough to get people excited about this show. I was when they announced initially the press conference at the stadium and Athena was there with Mercedes. We were like, that's a potential match that could happen. So we've always wanted Athena to be a part of this show. So it's good that she's in the mix now. Like she's been on TV for the last couple of weeks. Well, that needs to be celebrated.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa too.
There's an after party for the show.
Yeah, they announced it.
Okay. Where's that going to be?
I don't know. Somewhere.
Is it going to be on Texas Live? Because it's in that same area.
I think so. I think you're right. So yeah, after party. That's what people were saying too, Phil. They were like, that's kind of isn't that a giveaway? Because there's no way that you could have an after party and Mox had one. Could you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be at Texas Live because the tailgate it starts at 10 a.m. and then the after party is gonna be they're both at Texas Live.
Right. Yeah. So people are saying that's a giveaway because like you want to have a bunch of angry fans at your after party.
That's a free event, you say?
I like free.
Yeah. I mean, we don't record Saturday. We'll probably be there.
We'll probably be there for sure.
We'll probably be at one part of it, either the after party or the tailgate.
Yeah, exactly. Appreciate that single blowing out the Panda. The homie Busby says, I'll give Petty of the Week to Triple H for ignoring Black History Month, MLK Day, but acknowledging the 4th of July.
What do you think he's going to do? That wasn't a shocker, was it?
0%. They announced this week that for the 250 anniversary of some shit that they're going to have a UFC fight at the White House. They'll probably have a WWE match too.
How does that work? They're going to have like a MMA fight
at the White House. Yeah, they're going to have a UFC fight at the White House.
They're going to build a octagon and a cage. That's a choice.
America.
Oh, boy.
Appreciate that, Busby. Leonard Ernst III says, read Triple K. Y'all want it one way, but it's the other way. How many times he got to keep hoodwinking y'all before the light comes on? I heard him. I hear him. He got me. He told me.
Yeah. I've never been a fan of the guy personally.
Yeah, honestly. He's shown his true colors a lot. So appreciate that, Leonard Aaron's. Single Blue Note the Panda also says there was one wrestler who got a bigger pop than Mystical on Collision, and that wrestler got a great promo package. Really? Whom? Don't tell me. No spoilers.
Is that tonight? Is he talking about?
Yep. Collision is on at its regular time, back to it. So I'm definitely going to be interested in checking that out. Single Blue Note the Panda. Appreciate that. The homie Vin Forte says, Dear Phil, I'm tired of all...
Bro. All right, man.
Vin.
Yeah, that clip was so funny. I laughed so hard at it, bro.
Oh my god!
Just everything about it. Chance got the big bucket hat on, saying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we were earlier, we were referencing a Chance the Rapper video that Phil's talking about, and Vin is in the video. Chance says, "I'm tired of all these crackers" in front of a bunch of.
He like sings it too. Tired of all these crackers.
In front of all of them, it's great. You should definitely check it out, Vin. Come on. Appreciate you, Vin.
Fucking hilarious.
The homie Busby says, oh yeah, Beyonce concert is happening right across the street from this at the same time of Evolution. Yeah, same exact time. Beyonce. Tailgating, all that stuff is going to be happening all at the same time. Like people dedicate their whole day to Beyonce. So that's what it's going to be. In Atlanta too. This ain't Texas. Should be the thing.
Ain't Texas. That's why Bianca not on the show. Bianca's like, I'm trying to be over there. She might be in the gauntlet or the battle royal, but other than that, she's not on this card.
Bianca Belair, the big star,
not on the show. As of now, it's not on that card. Maybe she's gonna be in the battle royal, but
the big star Bianca Belair, they're gonna put her in some bullshit battle royal.
Yeah, look, she's trying to be across the street.
She like, cool, don't bug me. I got somewhere to be. But you got to put Bianca on fucking Evolution. What are you guys doing? Come on.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Busby. Michael Allen Lewis says they got an all-in after party. Ain't no way Mox wins. See, Michael Allen Lewis is bringing it up here. It'll be an interesting choice, Mike, if like, hey, come celebrate. You guys all being upset. I was saying to Denise on the watch along, Phil, it's like when they have big sports games, when they have like the Super Bowl, they plan parties for both teams. And when the team loses, they still have the party. So, and some of those parties are not that great. I'm like, I don't think AEW wants to have one of those situations where we're at the losing team's party.
Yeah.
They could, though. You never know.
Maybe.
But do you want to really have a bunch of disappointed fans at your after party? I mean, they could do enough that it won't matter. Like if the whole show's hot and Kenny and Okada tear down, but then Mox wins.
Yeah, we still don't see the belt again.
You said it. Nah, I hear you.
That would be terrible.
I hear you.
I'm trying to see Hangman in the middle of this after party, holding that belt up and like pouring a beer, like Stone Cold. Like, what are we doing, though? What are we doing? If we're not doing that, what are we doing?
If Hangman ain't doing the hitting the beer off of his world title, like we just made a mistake here, I think. Yeah. If he ain't pouring up, then what's going on? Appreciate that, Mike.
Come on, man. We need it. We need him in the middle of that after party, holding the belt, walking around in a circle like Dan Aykroyd and the Coneheads. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's the only way. It's the only way. The homie Van Twinblade says, not sending a lot of chats because I got to save money to see Baby Metal, Bloodywood, and Ginger in about 30 hours. Gonna be fucking hype. I'm guessing those are animes.
I don't know what that is. There's some stuff.
The homie Van Twinblade usually comes with the anime knowledge, so I'd assume. I'm excited that you're happy about something, Van Twinblade. That's dope.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, dog.
But hopefully it hits. Appreciate that, Van Twinblade. Mike Allen Lewis also says, feel like they're going to use the cake to recreate that SmackDown Tony Charlotte segment, but decided not to. Like they were going to.
I didn't think about that. They had the cake sitting in front of her and she was sitting there the whole time, annoyed. I didn't think about that. And I didn't think about that. Even Mercedes coming and licking it afterwards, like, my favorite. You don't like cake? I like cake.
Wow, look at Michael Allen Lewis, huh? Smart. I didn't think about that either. I was just like, oh, they're celebrating Mercedes 1000 thing. Maybe they didn't have enough time, which sounds crazy.
Yeah, those are bands, by the way. That's what the chat.
Oh, they're bands.
Yeah.
Never know. Could be anything at this point. Appreciate that, Michael. Nitro Dust says Mercedes is moving up the ladder of matches rated 4-star or better among women. She trails only Manami Toyota, Aja Kong, and Kyoko Inoue, and Akira Hokuto. So she's in a class of her own. It's so funny in the podcast that I did with Busted Open. That's tomorrow. You guys should definitely check that out. We talked about Mercedes, and I was all in my brain. She's only people above her in wrestling history are like Japanese women's wrestlers, and like there you go right there.
Yeah.
Like if you make a top 10 list of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time across anywhere, like you could probably do 10 Japanese women's wrestlers and then like the rest. As far as like innovation and making this a thing. But Mercedes is definitely climbing that ladder. Appreciate that, Nitro Dust. Van Twinblade also says Beast Mortos, attorney at law. We run through the opposition.
Hilarious.
You saw that TikTok of him and Mercedes? Did that fuck up his aura for him? Can he not be Beast Mortos anymore?
Nah, dog.
Could you imagine seeing a dude with his woman and being like, this is fucking his aura up? Are you on drugs?
I see the energy, dog. I see it. Good for him. I see it, dog. Listen, dog.
That tweet he posted, he was like, I got a girl, I got a great job, I'm living my life. I'm like, no, this guy's having a great time. I don't know what y'all talking about.
I made a joke with somebody on the phone after I saw that TikTok too. I don't know. I don't know if that's podcast friendly.
Probably not.
Yeah. I said
I do see the vision, brother.
I saw the vision. I saw he dancing that TikTok. He's dancing like that in the TikTok because he saw how she licked that cake.
Do we have sleepers? Do we have sleepers?
I saw it. I seen it, dog.
Do we have sleepers? Yes or no?
Yo, I'm just saying. He seen it. He was like, all right. Are you trying to do a TikTok? Yeah, okay, I'm over here.
Where you need me to stand? Oh, I'm standing over here? All right.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Living his best life. He done been in Dynamite main events, all kind of shit. Like see.
We taking some pictures right now. Okay, cool.
When they talk about back on. When they talk about Mercedes and her creative control, I'm like, yeah, she getting the homie some matches on Dynamite.
All right.
And he's super talented. It's not like he don't deserve none of this, you know.
Yeah, listen, man. He was like, he's like, okay, yeah. Now my lady there. I seen it. I see the energy every time, dog. My lady over there.
He definitely has my lady over there energy.
So I'll be there. I'll be there.
The best energy. Are you guys going to be at the blah, blah, blah? My lady's going to be there, so I'll definitely be there.
Listen, man, I'm not hating. Anybody, I see it. I'm happy for him. Good for him, dog. Good for him, dog.
Like, I'm hating a little bit. Like, this guy's a great lawyer. He got the girl. He's a great wrestler. Fuck this nigga, maybe.
Listen, man, look, again, I see it.
I see the vision, though.
I see how you living, dog.
Now, when I saw that picture of him and her and his whole family and they all had her belts, I was like, no, I know exactly what's going on here. You think this guy was like, hey, look at this big, giant WWE star. Like, 'cause she's in AEW now, but you know what I mean? I see. That's it. That's all. And I'm not mad at it. Good on you, brother. Well deserved. Appreciate that, man. Twin Blade. Phil's the one that's canceled for his cake comment, not me. Hassan Bala says, after the bill passing with custom Medicaid and student loans as a med student, I'm just happy wrestling can make me forget the world's problem for a moment. Appreciate you guys. Excited for All In. Hassan, appreciate that. We try to be a little bit of distraction for you guys, but it's totally a distraction for Phil and I too. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks, wrestling, for being wrestling, because I don't know what I would do without this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Go figure that this guy is doing exactly what everybody expected him to do, that said don't vote for him. But for some reason, people just didn't listen, and they have to learn the hard way.
This guy said it as loud as he can, Phil, like over everything. And they were like, maybe not my stuff. And then he started coming for their stuff, and they're like, oh, I didn't vote for this. Yeah, I bet.
I bet you did. Mm-hmm. I bet you don't think you did, but you did.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You did. That's the best part, is they don't think they did at all. Like, no, this isn't what that's exactly what your little marking was for, I think.
Yeah.
So, Hassan, thank you for being out there in them streets. Really appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. That other thing we were talking about 2 days ago, also crazy. Guy just boxed a week ago. ICE is trying to deport this guy.
Dog.
Not even a week later.
Like I was saying there, they probably watched the fight and were like, good, we're about to get him. We know exactly where he is. And they got him.
Insane, bro. This
guy was just on a pay-per-view main event, dog.
We are in crazy times. If people don't know the context of that, Chavez Jr. Just had a fight with Jake Paul last weekend, and the report was that ICE is attempting to detain him, or did they already detain him?
I think he's been detained. They're trying to process getting him.
That's what it was. They detained him, and they're in the process of attempting to deport him, which is insane, bro. And for people that know, he is a big Trump supporter as well, and insane, bro. Like,
his influence, like if he didn't vote, but he had probably influenced somebody to vote, that caused this. So, ain't that crazy?
Yeah. Insane.
Let me off this thing. Leonard Harris III also says, imagine it. Paige wins the titles and they reenact the scene from 1992 with Sting and Rude, only as Paige and MJF or returning Jay White.
Yeah, I don't know what the timetable is on Jay White.
I don't think they'll do any post-match stuff besides Hangman carrying this thing off into the sunset.
Yeah.
But crazier things have happened. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be an interesting result and an interesting everything with All In. That's all of our super chats.
Yeah. I don't think they should do after match angle.
No.
Just give him the
win.
Need it. Yeah. They don't need it.
That's the aftermatch angle, is him pulling the belt out of the briefcase.
Yeah. From Tony P, he says, I like the stip of Will and Swerve not going for the belts for a year. I wonder how this will affect the Mox Hanger match, because I feel they're losing too. We had ourselves a good old-fashioned PWG trios match. Then we had Coda make Kazu give a fuck for the night. Yeah,
I think they also, because there's been a lot of talk surrounding Okada, and like I think they still got him fucked up too. Still the same Okada when he needs to be.
I think he was looking around like leisurely, and then at one point he was like, "Oh, there's a fight. Let me get this guy out of here. I got to pin him." He playing. I'm not trying to fight you, dog. Get out of here.
This guy's really serious in here fighting me. I think I gotta get out of here. Now I'm telling you, when he hit that lariat, he was like, "Oh wait, we're really doing this." I think.
Yeah, he was like,
dude.
"You mad because I beat up your little friend with that baton? Get out of here, dog. Let me get you up out of here." Tony P also says it was fun. Though the lack of women was obvious again. I wonder why, when they had been showing them off a lot before the long shows / double tapings happened. I wonder if they are waiting on something or some women. But I have some questions and want your opinion. Yeah, I feel the same way. It feels like something happened before those 2 weeks where we had the 4-hour episodes. I wonder if Jamie Hayter's injury changed things, because it seemed like they were leading to something, particularly with Tekla, and then it just felt it, and they didn't really pivot well from it.
It seemed like they just switched the Tekla stuff to Aminata. Now they've been involved in a little thing.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do think that it's been very unfortunate that we haven't had more than one women's match on these shows, and I do think if you're going to do the tag team championship for the women, you got to start promoting. You got to get back to using the women in the tag matches, because they were doing that before and then it just fell off a cliff. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, somebody was like, it's an AEW classic AEW for one of their milestone shows to only have one women's match, and I was I've seen a lot of people with those sentiments, and so I hear you. Like, we always want more for the women, so hopefully they keep expanding on it.
Yeah. We've got more Humper chats here from Tony P. I think I read that one. He asked, do you think the Texas Deathmatch stip is being used to kind of also give us a low-key Stadium Stampede vibe? Because everyone is coming out. What wrestlers that left on their own you feel should have stayed in AEW and worked things out? I definitely think that's part of the reason we're getting a stipulation match, because there's going to be run-ins.
Yeah, they want to utilize the space, and that's a great way to do it.
As for your question, it's the same answer for me every time. It's Andrade. Why did Andrade go over there? He was kind of cooking before he left. Bring Andrade back where he was cooking things. He was having good matches. Why did he go back over there, man? I want him back over here.
Does Cody count? Because he's my answer.
I guess Cody I was well left on his own. But for me, I guess because I think that Cody's a given, but
Cody is a given. Yeah,
it's Andrade, man.
Yeah, Andrade. I think he had so much still left in AEW is the unfortunate part. Like Rusev and Ricky Starks, I'm like, they're fine. I think Andrade still has something that could have been something. So that's still unfortunate.
Andrade is the guy that I would like to see come back.
Because he still got it. Like him and Bandito in a fucking program, we're out of here.
I don't know what they're doing with him over there either. He had that best of 7 series with Melo at one point, and I was like, okay, cool, he's cooking, and then nothing.
Melo? Question mark? Who's that? Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's another one where I just don't know what they're doing with him.
And his seems like the fans want it, and he's like, I consistently see on social media people being like, why doesn't he have more? Yeah.
A lot of people in our chat are saying Ray Phoenix. I don't know if this is a hot take. Ray Phoenix is the worst booked ex-AEW wrestler over there.
Phoenix is?
I think it's by far. I mean, when you look at how everybody else is going over there and they've gotten wins, they've gotten some accolades under their belt. They even gave Lexis King a trophy win. Bro, Sean Spears went over there and was North American champion. Ethan Page got a title run out of it. He's had some big matches. Ricky has gotten a title match. They moved Jade straight to the main roster. She's been in big storylines, Queen of the Ring, tag team champions. Like even Penta, it feels like they have a trajectory for Penta. Ray Phoenix is just over there losing, dog. I don't know what they're doing with him.
I saw the result of last night. It said Fraxium versus Ray Phoenix and Andrade. And everybody was like, great match. And the first thing that came to my mind was they have Phoenix in a tag team with not his fucking brother.
Yeah. Because right now Penta don't need to be with Phoenix. Penta got motion. Phoenix don't have no motion.
It's easy. This guy is dynamic, dude. He's not just some fool. He's not just a fool with a mask. This guy at one point was my favorite wrestler in the world, luchador or nothing. Yeah. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And when I said they should fucking pair these guys up immediately, people are like, no, let them cook individually. Then when they come together, blah, blah, blah. Now when they come together, they're going to be like, why is Penta with this fucking loser?
I don't think so. It depends on what they do with him. If they have a big tag team feud ready for him by WrestleMania, I think it'll hit. Like if they announce that the match for WrestleMania is the Lucha Brothers versus the Usos, people are going to be excited for that. I don't think they're going to look at it like, what is Phoenix doing over there? I just think right now, though, like there's nothing to be excited about what Phoenix is doing. Like even though Penta is taking some losses, he still stands out.
I mean, he had a big, like people are playing his entrance from Night of Champions. Like he's involved in something that means something.
Yeah. That prime example. He losing, but he still was involved in the main angle in the main event. He got motion.
Yeah, it's different, way different.
And, I mean, like I said, you can say what you want about Ricky, but Ricky went straight over there and they put some gold on him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Ricky's a main piece of NXT. It's totally different.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, and that's. What happened to the Motor City Machine Guns? I have to say what happened. I remember. I forget. I keep forgetting. I hope everybody's bags are hidden. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Just fuck wrestling. We could care about these bags, and I hope those bags are fucking doing it.
I had my reservations about them going over there, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're doing with tag teams in general. Like, what's going on with the Street Profits? They had a fire match this year, that the TLC match. Why are they not on pay-per-views? Like, what's going on?
This company and most companies hate tag team wrestling. I knew what it was going to be. They're not going to start liking tag team wrestling because they have one of the greatest tag teams of all time. That is not going to do anything, and it's showing very apparently.
Yeah,
it's a sideshow to them, just like Vince thought all the time. So just continuing. Tag team wrestling used to main event the shit that used to be the draw of pro wrestling. Never forget.
Yeah.
Got me sound like Dax Harwood out here. Shout out to Dax. What's up, Dax?
We've got some more Humper chats. More from Tony P. I think I read that one. He says, does the TNA WWE partnership feel dull and oversaturated now? It does for me. It feels like TNA is NXT's sister brand now. We know Shuri is taking time to heal up, but do we get Shuri in a gauntlet at Forbidden Door or randomly on a Dynamite? I sure hope so. I want to see her over here so bad. I want her to get I want a Mercedes match. There's so many matches with her that I think they could knock out. I mean, she hasn't crossed paths with Sheeta or nothing since their tag run. I think you could do something cool with that. Yeah, I would love to see her in America.
And all the women that were responding to that and being like, I want a match. There was a bunch in there that was like, I hope you get a match.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the TNA WWE partnership, I don't really have an opinion of it because I don't really watch TNA like that anymore. I just don't know what the direction is. It just feels like everything is homogenized at this point, which, meh.
Listen, Phil, the man Joe Hendry got a plaque, though, to show his WrestleMania thing.
He'll be over there soon. That's what I think all the time when I see these things. I'm like, well, he'll be signing soon. He's not long for TNA. Ibu Ibu put up that tweet and was like, why aren't they just doing Trick Williams versus Mike Santana at Slammiversary? Why did they add Joe Hendry? And I was like,
you know why?
Because they don't want their guy to get pinned. Joe Hendry is about to eat this pin. It probably is what's going to happen.
You think they're gonna have their guy pinned on your show? Nah.
I think Hendry about to take this pin. That's what's about to happen.
Fact, a big factor, brother. They're getting somebody in there to get them shoulders pinned that don't work for us. But yeah, I knew it was always going to land in the sister promotion thing. They weren't going to try to act like this is equal ground and this the same thing both ways, you know?
Yeah.
But good for them. A lot of
they don't ever do that.
It's working. I feel like it's working for TNA. Even
is it?
How you feel about it? I want to say they announced some stipulation where Masha is wrestling. Whoever wins the title match, they're gonna have a winner takes all match with the NXT championship or some shit. Something's going on. Like, so there's stuff that's in there, but I don't really know if that's benefiting TNA because everything that hits over there is just gonna get taken away. So
yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know that it's benefiting TNA because all of the people so far that it's benefited, it seems like they're gonna end up over there. Like this is the same thing we were saying a year ago with Jordan.
Mm-hmm. And that's 100% what we described happened with Jordan. She walked in there, great fanfare, slapping hands and shit, and it was fine.
Yep.
So for the wrestlers, I guess that's something, Phil, you know?
Giving them a pipeline, easier pipeline to go to WWE. It's a lot of pipelines, though.
Hella pipelines.
It's Super Mario over there, bro. It's pipes everywhere.
You might get taken somewhere you don't want to go. Wait, no, I wasn't trying to go down this pipe.
A lot of pipelines over there, dog.
WWE ID.
Remember that? I forgot we can't say.
You can't say remember things. You can't say that.
Do you remember?
Can't say remember something. Remember?
Yeah. More from Johnny P. He says, with that said, shout out to Big Sexy Kev for calling that chump from Alabama a cracker and to shut the fuck up. Fuck that nasty ass Bill. Keep loving each other. Have a good weekend, everyone. I seen that. I seen Nash was getting them tweets off.
Nash was getting his shit off yesterday, letting these fools know, fuck y'all, fuck this holiday. Fuck where you live. I'm like, nah, Nash don't care. He grew up in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He said that he has an N-word pass. I wish he would have never said that. That's a hilarious video. You never seen that? He said he grew up with homies in Detroit that gave him the N-word pass.
Maybe not say that publicly. It's cool. Okay. We'll need to know. Mm-mm.
Kevin Nash has an N-word pass. That's take this from Grapsody. Not from me, but from somebody. Ego.
Yep. For Leroy Ford, happy Grapsody, guys. Phil, hope you had a great birthday week. Reg, sorry about your car, man.
Thank you.
That sucks. Did anyone from the dealership Denise got her new ride from call you since she listed you as a reference? Wait, did she?
Denise put out a tweet. Shout out to the homie Denise for her new car, where she was like, "Yeah, the car dealership asked me for 3 references, and I said Will Washington, Sean Ross Sapp, and Righteous Reg as the references." And no, they haven't called me. I'm gonna tell them, like I said in the tweet, that I don't know her as soon as they call. Get off this line. You calling here for? You trying to sell me a car?
Why would she think that you would answer? You probably gonna look at that like, nah, that's a telemarketer. I ain't answering that. Who is this?
I think I'm gonna answer my phone.
I don't know that number.
Phone on a number I don't know. Y'all do not know me at all. I'll be barely answering phones with motherfuckers I do know. So,
yeah, appreciate that very generous Humper chat, Leroy.
Thank you.
Appreciate all the birthday wishes.
The support of my window too. I'm fine, you guys. I wasn't even in there.
Somebody asked, "What was you in? What was you in karaoke singing?"
It depends on the night. That night I did Limp Bizkit break stuff, I think. And then I'll usually mix it up. I do a rap song depending on how the bar is, depending on who's in there. Like if there's some black women dancing in there, I'll do Fucking Problems by A$AP Rocky because that one, like, I love that bitch. I love that bit. The hook is just like, it hits really hard. And if it's an older crowd, I'll do Nothing But a G Thing because that one just.
So let me get this straight. You was in there singing break stuff, and then you came outside and found out that people broke stuff.
Fell right into it.
Something takes a part of me.
Come on, man. What the fuck? I was in there singing break stuff, and my stuff was outside broken. The fuck? I didn't even think about that. I really did do that song, and they probably were breaking it while my shit was going on. They're like, okay, I hear you. The fuck, man? This is a scam. I can't believe that happened to me. Listen, sometimes you just gotta laugh at these things. There's nothing I could do about my broken window that I did that happened during break stuff. So next.
Yep.
I appreciate y'all.
I think our last Humper chat from Van Twinblade. He says, if I could go back to being 14 with all the shit I know now, I would. Lawyers have advised to you to redact this text from the group of self-incrimination. Seriously, fuck this country. We have nothing to be proud of. Fuck ICE, fuck Trump, fuck conservatives.
Yep. We're not celebrating shit this weekend, but trying to survive.
Something takes a part of me. Yeah, I hope people, enjoyed themselves this weekend. So a lot of people in my neighborhood popping firecrackers and eating barbecue. I definitely had some barbecue, but can't say that I was in this big holiday mood. Like I had some barbecue, and then I pretty much slept in.
Fireworks went on in Oakland, California till like 3 a.m. I fell asleep, and then I was woke. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And it was still fireworks. Yeah. So very traumatizing. But I hope you guys had a great time out there.
Yeah.
There was somebody lighting like on my street, like it's right there, and they're lighting the big ones. I'm like, yo, yeah, but also go to bed, man. Damn.
Yeah, I was just telling. I think it was Iridian that was saying, yeah, the older and older I get, the more I kind of hate fireworks. Like, yeah, it's enough.
Turn all that noise down. Just yelling at kids in the street.
Enough, man. Like y'all not tired of this? But yeah, I think y'all lit all of them. What's going on?
These motherfuckers started in the daytime. I'm like, you can't even see the fireworks. It's just sounds at this point. Like, we gotta stop.
Yeah, I'm good. That period during the pandemic where it felt like they just dropped a big box of fireworks in everybody's neighborhood because it just felt like every night people were lighting fireworks. I'm like, no, stop. Enough.
I was just talking to somebody about that. The 2021 specifically, I swear, for 3 months before July and 3 months after, there were fireworks every single day. Every day there would be. I was just like, I guess
constant.
That's the first year I moved to Oakland in 2020. I was like, I guess that's just how Oakland is. Like, there's fireworks. It was obnoxious. I was like, I don't know what this is. They dropped them in the hood like crack.
It was, yeah. That year when it just felt like people were lighting fireworks every night. I was like, what? Where are they getting all these fireworks? I don't get this. What's going on?
Where are they getting them? It's fucking May or like it wasn't July ever. They were just it was insane. It stopped, and I haven't heard any today, and I hope I don't hear any.
Yeah. that is all of our Humper Chats. Appreciate everybody that sent us a Humper Chat. Appreciate everybody that sent us a Super Chat. Again, you can buy a hat like this or like Regis. Grapsody at bigcartel.com. If you see us in Texas, feel free to say hello. We will be out and about. We'll let you guys know.
There's a karaoke show in Texas. I might be at that. We might be able to hear this live and in character, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, this has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey, Righteous Reg. If you were waiting, I'm counting it down for that 4 hours. Sorry to disappoint you.
Got your ass.
We are out of here.
Peace.